Oregon. Cal went on a remarkable 42-11 run in the second half to capture a 42-41 victory, one of the largest comebacks in college football history.
Serve Pro, like it never even happened.
You're listening to 94.5 ESPN, WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
Three-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year, Jason Wilde.
There aren't any Jasons 12 and under. That's a dead name.
Packers Hall of Famer, Mark Tauscher.
How many kids do you hear, hey, Marky, it might be almost to the point of Ruth?
Live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios in downtown Milwaukee at the 3rd Street Market Hall.
You love that name so much, you don't even go by it.
If you call me Mark, I'm fine. I like my name. I like my name a lot.
This is Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tosh.
It's Wilde and Touch, isn't it?
Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
It is the Monday edition. The Packers to the playoffs, we knew that already. They escaped Minneapolis with a 16-3 loss. Hey, they didn't get shut out. And more importantly, healthy, except for maybe Bo Melton. But Jordan Love did not have to play. And if he had, Matt LaFleur had an interesting plan. Edition. Here we go again. Round 3, the rubber match between the Packers and the Bears. The 213th meeting and third meeting this season for a berth in the NFC Divisional Round edition. And the Ben Johnson's already popping off. I'm not a fan, but I got to be honest, kind of understand why you'd want to see the Packers shut him up edition of Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, 100.5 ESPN Madison, 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam, ESPNWisconsin.com, the ESPN app, your Alexa smart speaker, streaming live video, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and of course everything you need on the all-new, all-redesigned, all-free, and all-customizable ESPN Wisconsin app, which you can find both in the Apple and Android app stores. I'm Jason Wilde, normally in Green Bay, still in Minneapolis. Be heading out as soon as this fine radio program and YouTube program ends. Jesse Nelson is in the Everlight Solar ESPN Madison studios and from his undisclosed location. He is the Packers Hall of Famer. He is Mark Tauscher. Tausch, good morning. How are you?
I'm good. So do the kids not have school today, or are they just taking a day?
No, they do. Yeah, good parenting. By the time I got done at...
I am so dumbfounded by you, man. I'm not gonna. I don't get you. I never have. I don't think I ever will. But kudos to you, man. You went up to Minneapolis in the Channel 3000 Bowl. And Jason, what did you take away from yesterday? Because I didn't take anything away. What did you take away from yesterday in this great matchup? Of maybe this is what I want you to remember, and I want all your media brethren, when this push for 18 comes, which is coming, remind everybody of this game and some of the others. So continue on.
Just so we're clear before I begin, there, squishy little stress reliever ball guy. I don't want 18 games either.
No, I know you don't, but
I mean,
the media complex does, and I want you to be up on I want you on the front lines fighting it. That's what I'm saying.
Because that'll work. Because the NFL cares not only what I think, but they don't care what anybody thinks, right? They want
Public
their 18-game money.
Thing, though. I'm not arguing that, but you can at least put up a fight.
Well, we've got work to do then.
If an entire beat corps revolted, they would notice.
Right, but they wouldn't care. Like, they would say, okay, well, you guys, all your readers and listeners and viewers won't get coverage of the 18th game because you're boycotting it. And by the way, it's not like Domofsky would stand up and tell his ESPN bosses, nope, can't do it. Don't think there should be an 18th game. I'm not covering it. He wouldn't do that. And
why
quite
not?
Frankly, neither would I.
Did anybody want to cover that game, besides you? Who wanted to cover that game yesterday?
There were some terrible attitudes in the press box. There's no doubt about it.
Nobody wanted to be there. So it's only going to compound. It's not going to get better.
So, in fairness, before I get to all my takeaways, there were games that obviously did matter, right? There were games that did matter in Week 18, Game 17.
Sure.
Highlighted by last night with the crucial missed kicks by each kicker, so Aaron Rodgers goes to the playoffs. But
Boswell's wasn't crucial. They're still playing, so his kick wasn't crucial.
But there were most games that were meaningless.
No, you got floating around back there. What's going on behind you there?
We're packing up to go home. We're packing up.
Got some action.
We're heading home. Yeah.
All right.
So my takeaways. One, which I kind of knew already, Matt LaFleur is forever scarred by Christian Watson tearing his ACL in last year's regular season finale. No doubt about it. Hey, thanks. Thanks for being on the show. There's no doubt about it.
This is your principal calling. I can't believe you're missing school to sit in a hotel room with your dad up in Minneapolis.
Bring him coffee.
They did. It was very nice
Is that an internship program?
Oh.
Did she just get credit?
Well,
She's getting credits.
It's a work release. Then it's okay. Yeah.
Wait a minute. No, they're not. Work release is a little bit different. So, first, and I did call them in, and I did tell the truth. I didn't pretend that they were sick. But be that as it may, Matt LaFleur, because the way I asked him the question was, if it had not played out the way it did last year, would you have played your guys? And he said there's no doubt that had an impact on him. And so
sure.
I don't blame him, right? That is, you lose Christian Watson. Like, I'll be honest,
experience shapes your decision making. That's why, history is going to repeat itself. I don't have a problem with what Matt LaFleur did yesterday, by the way.
Okay,
None at all.
Ben Johnson seems to. He played his guys and his team lost to a team with nothing to play for. We'll get to that coming up. Also, I think Barron Sorrell, who has played on and off throughout this season and whose dad told us in our YouTube comments that 99 was going to shine, shined yesterday. And I think it was Josh DiMaggio in our little group text who said, how am I supposed to feel about the fact that Barron Sorrell has made more plays in one game than I have seen Rashawn Gary make in the last X number of weeks? And I thought that was a fair critique from Joshy. He did. He had a good day yesterday. He was impactful. And by the way, the Vikings played all their guys, and this defense, again, J.J. McCarthy and Max Brosmer are not exactly great quarterbacks, but this defense held up okay. They got some key stops. They forced some field goals. They weren't great by any means, but they did it with basically two starters participating, right? With the two safeties, Javon Bullard and Evan Williams, and then maybe a little bit of Isaiah McDuffie sprinkled in.
McDuffie, yeah. Yep.
My other takeaway is I don't think they're going to get 11 interception version of Trayvon Diggs, but he looked like he was serviceable, right? He tackled, which is something that obviously Carrington Valentine, they are unhappy with in his performance in recent weeks, but he's going to help them in some way. Now, he's also undeniably potentially going to get cooked by a Bears wide receiver, right? Because his numbers this season have not been very good. He's given up a passer rating of 157.8 or something like that. So
that's not
almost perfect. So yeah, those were some of my takeaways. And my other takeaway is Clayton Tune had no chance. Like, they wanted to make sure that they got everyone through this game healthy to the point of not playing any of their starters other than Jordan Morgan, who I haven't looked at the tape, as the coaches say, but the feeling I got was that he was not star-spangled awesome at left tackle. Your thoughts?
I don't have takeaways. I'm done with this game. I'm over it. I don't want to talk about it at all.
I wasn't planning on it until you asked.
You're up in Minnesota. Your boots on the ground for the second time all year, and we're not going to ask you anything? Like, that's crazy talk by us. So thanks for your being up there for 4 days and grinding this thing out. We appreciate you. But that game was meaningless. I told you after the Ravens game it was. You tried all week to tell me that it wasn't. Come on. Like, this was worse than a preseason game. This was worse than a preseason game. It was unwatchable. So it's over. Nobody cares. By the way, Matt LaFleur and Prize Picks, thank you so much for kicking that field goal with McManus. Thank you so much. That helped old T. Even though I lost everything else at the Hard Rock Casino Rockford. Thank you so much. But outside of that, let's just move it along, man. That was a Travis. It wasn't a. I'm gonna say Travis. It just was dumb. Like, it was.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
How much of your opinion is shaped by the fact that a month ago we thought there was no way in God's green earth that you wouldn't be cashing the plus 9.5 wins ticket at Hard Rock Casino Rockford, and here we sit a month later, and that ended up not being a winning ticket as the Packers finish 9-7-1.
It doesn't cloud my judgment on this at all. This one at all. The Ravens game, obviously, I still can't believe what I saw, and it was nice to see that the defense, bowed up yesterday a little bit. So no, that's none of it. It is what it is. When you get into these games, play silly games, sometimes you end up with silly results. That's just how it goes, and I don't have any problem with that. Now moving forward, and this is where I am starting to get really confused, and I need to get
oh, boy.
We're not going to take positives and negatives today.
No.
I don't care. And if you want, you can put them on Twitter or whatever else. That's great. Two very ardent Packer fans. They have been, since we moved down to Sun Prairie, these guys are, I talked to them a bunch. They're texting. One of them is an avid listener to the show.
What's wrong with the other one?
I got this I think he's busy. I don't know. I push him to listen and watch more. Maybe 2026, that'll be his new thing.
He's busy.
Abe, get your butt moving. Well, he's got a job. So I understand that there's stuff that you have to do. Danny Boy's got a job too, but he does listen a lot more. So anyways, they both are texting last night and saying, as long as we beat the Bears, I feel good about the rest of the season. And I'm looking at it like this is a group that has railed against the Green Bay Packers not going all in and not winning championships. Are we all resigned that, yes, we should beat the Bears, but then lose to Seattle and be done? Are we all going to be content as Packer fans if we go down to Chicago, beat their breaks in Saturday night, and lose a good game out in Seattle the following Saturday? Are we all going to be content with that? Because it feels like a lot of Packer fans are. I'm not in that camp.
That's what I was just going to ask. So you would definitely not be.
No. This thing's wide open. Now, the injuries play a factor. No doubt, Micah Parsons and Tucker Kraft, two of your best three. But are you really looking around this NFC and saying, boy, Sam Darnold really scares me. Oh, my boy, oh, good Lord. We can't beat that team. They scored 13 points the other night against a bad defense. Our defense is better. I'm not saying crazy things, but it just seems to me as if we're coping and we're it feels like, and I text these boys back last night, it feels as if we're giving them the Brewers treatment. Oh, good season. This hasn't been a great season. The finish this season's been pretty crappy. But it all resets, and it feels as if we're giving the same treatment that we give the Brewers because of the economics of baseball. We're now giving the Green Bay Packers because of the injury effect. And I'm wondering if that's a more universal feeling in our fan base than just Danny and Abe. That's all.
Well, first of all, I understand where Danny and Abe are coming from. I think that I don't know if satisfied or whatever word they chose would be the one I would choose. But again, I'm not here to tell fans how to think or feel. But I don't think it's fair to take the injury factor out of the equation when you're evaluating this season. Whether it's with Matt LaFleur and Brian Gutekunst, whether it's with the overall success or failure of the season, they are up to 15 guys on injured reserve. And let's be honest, that was the number ballpark that your 2010 team was at. But they have lost much more significant pieces. Both those teams lost a starting offensive lineman, right? That 2010 team lost you. This team lost Elton Jenkins. They have both lost a tight end. But as good as J. Mike was, I'm still not convinced that J. Mike was as good as Tucker Kraft is now. So I don't think it's the same.
Oh, I don't know, man. J. Mike. Tucker is a better overall tight end. J. Mike, y'all remember 09?
I do remember.
Y'all remember 09? Okay, I just wanted to make sure you remember.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They lost Nick Barnett in 2010. Nobody that they lost on defense is the parallel of losing Micah Parsons.
Totally agree. 100% agree.
And while I don't think Devontae Wyatt is a perfect player by any means, we have seen how the interior of their defensive line has struggled without him. And frankly, he would also help their pass rush because he at least collapses the pocket forward, and then it gives edge guys more opportunity. So I do think you have to, that is a mitigating factor. Now, the fact that they're playing the Bears in the first round of the playoffs, a team that I still believe they are better than, which I don't think is some sort of hot take, I think you should expect them to win. And I think you were the one who said this in our little text chain last night. I'm pretty sure the NFL thinks they're going to win too. Because then the Packers would go Saturday to Saturday to play the number one seeded Seahawks in Seattle. So I understand that it's a polluted mindset to look at these mitigating factors and say, oh, this changes my expectations. But to your point, there is undeniably a wide open opportunity in the NFC. None of these teams are great teams. None of them.
Nope.
The Bears aren't, the Packers aren't, the Eagles aren't.
Including Green Bay. Including Green Bay, by the way.
Right, exactly. So, we all remember the team you were on. The right team gets hot, and it could be anybody, right? The Rams have shown their flaws. We know the Panthers have their share of flaws. They talk about backing into the playoffs. They lose to the team that they were battling. That was not a win and get in NFC South game. Then both teams have to sit and wait to see what Atlanta, which fires
Carolina. No, it was a winning game for Carolina. They just didn't.
So, but they got in anyway, and a team that fired its coach after the game got them in. So there are no great NFC teams in the AFC. Maybe you can argue that that's a tougher road, and it's not as wide open as the NFC is. But I agree with you. I agree with Tausch. I don't have the shirt with me, but I think it's wide open. I just don't know what to expect from the Packers. And that's one of my questions for our fans today is what exactly are you expecting, along with your question from Abe and Danny, which is, will you be satisfied if the Packers beat the Bears and that's the last win they have, right? Because then they would go to Seattle and theoretically lose in that world. I don't think Seattle's defense looks really good to me. I haven't watched them all the time, but I certainly watched them the other night against San Francisco. That looked like a pretty good group.
I remember you talked about that, how physical Seattle's defense was.
Nate Hobbs would fit right in. So I agree that it's wide open, but those are our questions for today. Do you believe that this is wide open? Do you like the Packers? What are your expectations? And then if they only beat the Bears, if they beat the Bears and then lose to the Seahawks, how do you view this season? 844-770-3776. 844-770-3776. Tausch, I do have to ask the corollary question. What if they lose to the Bears?
Yeah. What are you asking? Matt LaFleur's job status? If we lose to the Bears, this season is an utter disappointment. If we are in the same exact place and we lose to a team that, won the division, but I think we all in our heart of hearts, and you could tell everybody in that locker room feels this way, that we're better than. If you lose in a win-or-go-home game to your rival this whole season, you didn't win the division, you're basically, the last team, you're a tie away from not advancing. This is where we're at. I think there's going to be a lot of long, hard looks at where this team is. Because you lose this game in the playoffs, I still think Matt LaFleur is going to be the coach. I don't think there's going to be wholesale changes, which I think some Packer fans. I promise you this. If that happens Saturday night, next Monday's show is going to be a complete referendum on Matt LaFleur. You can take that to the bank, and I'm guessing it'll be at least 50-50 saying we need a new leader. That's what I think will happen. I am not in that camp. But I'll say this. You don't beat the Bears. What are you taking away from this season?
Boy, it sure was fun to have Micah Parsons on the team. Right?
Yeah, the optimism for next year is going to be strong regardless. Because you're basically saying we're getting 2 all-pro players back and a big-time important defensive lineman back into the mix. Right? So that part, the offseason is going to be the offseason. I'm talking about this season. You go all in getting Micah Parsons, and if you lose to the Bears in Chicago as a 7 seed again for the 3rd straight year, it ain't going to be pretty. And this is not going to be deemed it's not going to be deemed as some great successful season. It's going to be looked at as a disappointment. This game Saturday is going to be the difference between disappointment and a big group of fans, led by, in my world anyways, Danny and Abe, saying, yeah, with the circumstances we're in, this is pretty good. Which is, in fairness, how we look at the Milwaukee Brewers. And I never in my life of doing this show thought there'd ever be an equivocation of, they did this, because Brewers fans, we all understand the economics of it, and I think that always supersedes the expectation game. I think the injuries this year are going to do that for some, too. It's not going to do it for me, I don't believe.
Okay, that's fair. I understand that. I would say that the injuries are significant enough that that's what changes
Absolutely
the perception.
They are, but there's no 85 blanking Bears out here. There's some juggernaut.
I understand. And I personally expect, here's my expectation, and then we'll get to a break and get the calls. My expectation is they go down to Chicago, they beat the Bears, and they lose a tough one in Seattle. I don't think they'll get blown out by Seattle. I think to me, that is what I expect the end game for this season to look like. And if that's the case, I have no problem with Packers fans who choose to grade the season on the curve that I'm talking about. I also understand those Packers fans that are going to look at it and go, the thing was wide open. You had a chance to beat Seattle at Seattle and you didn't do it, and they're ticked off. Totally. If they feel like that after the divisional round, I get it too. They've never made it past the NFC divisional round with Matt LaFleur not having Aaron Rodgers. You want to say that criticism? That's fair too. I get it. I get all that. But again, if we could live in fantasy land for just one moment and think what this team is, like let's have them have 4 other guys get injured, but they get to keep Parsons and they get to keep Tucker Kraft. I have sky high. I need to make plans for Santa Clara expectations. It's to me, It's about the guys that are hurt. It's not about the 15 guys total. It's about those 2 specific players.
That I agree with. But I'm still looking at it and saying, who is that much better? And I know fans are going to say, well, you're being a homer, you're doing this. And there probably is a little bit of that. But I just look at the big picture on things. Green Bay could easily get beat on Saturday. And to me, that'll be very disappointing. And this season has been really set below what the expectations were. The injuries do play in, and I do think if we go out and play a good game in Seattle and they beat us as the 1 seed, I think I'd probably be leaning more on your side of it. I just am looking at it right now, and our fans already thinking that. It just felt Brewersy to me, and I know I don't love that. I don't love that at all.
844-770.
I just got the hot new Pella Reed, hot off the presses for the new year, and for your New Year's resolution, the sky is the limit. With Pella's 0 interest for 4 years finance offer. No payments and no interest for 4 years. Think of everything you can do in 4 years. You can win an Olympic gold medal. You get a college degree. You can raise your toddler until they're ready for school. Time does fly. Serve a full term as president? Oh, my gosh. Start your own journey toward meeting your personal goals and enjoy Pella's highest quality products with exclusive features custom made for your home. This deal ends January 31st, so schedule your free consultation today at PellaWI.com. Just think 4 years with AI. Lord knows where we're going to be in 4 years. And you get free financing for those 4 years with this New Year's deal from Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
844-770-3776. 844-770-3776. If the Packers beat the Bears, is that sufficient success for this season given the injuries? How do you feel about that? The other question I frankly have, and I don't love asking it, is as a fan, do you see this as a must-win game for Matt LaFleur? I do wonder that. I don't love that narrative because I don't agree with it, and neither do you. But I feel like the amount of vitriol for the head coach that I get in my mentions is really remarkable. It's really crazy. I'm taken aback by it.
And for a guy that has won a lot of football games here.
Yes, indeed he has.
This whole idea of trying to bring in Kevin Stefanski instead, like, what are we doing? I saw people writing that out yesterday, too. Like, come on.
It's because he's different.
Come on,
right?
Clicky. Clicky.
Well,
Clicky Florio.
Click your phone dial. 844-770-3776. 844-770-3776. We'll get to your calls next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio. All day, every day. The Carbless talk and text line is open for you.
First off, there is not one team that's on the fringe that scares me.
800-990-3776. The Carbless talk and text line. This is more. Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Customizable just for you. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today.
Kick off the new year with a smarter home and bigger savings with Exterior Pros and Baths. New windows to lock in the warmth, durable roofing, eye-catching siding, or a stunning bath makeover. Start the year off right and get $3,000 off your project. That's right, $3,000 back in your pocket during our New Year savings event. Call 262-800-4274 or visit extpros.com today. This deal won't last all winter. Exterior Pros and Baths. New year, new home, done right.
You live for this. The wins, the losses, the slam dunks, and the buzzer beaters. The dream that this is your team's year. Hope, it's what keeps you coming back. So you represent with anticipation and with pride. Because when everything's on the line, your support means everything. That's why the NBA Store is here to support you. Check out the largest selection of official NBA gear at NBAstore.com. A Fanatics experience.
Something exciting is happening at St. Kate the Arts Hotel. On the second floor, you'll find the Studio Kitchen and Cocktails, Milwaukee's destination for bold flavors, fresh sushi, seasonal entrees, and cocktails crafted with care. Start your day with a breakfast that fuels you, stop in for dinner that sparks conversation, or linger late into the evening with drinks designed to inspire. With flavors and drinks for every mood, the Studio is the perfect place to gather, celebrate, and connect. Be boldly social. The Studio Kitchen and Cocktails, now on the second floor at St. Kate the Arts Hotel.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting a Teenager. Learning the lingo.
Jelly. Jelly adjective. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same. Visit adoptuskids.org, brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Tom has been a teacher for over 40 years. One day, I think one of the students had asked the question and he didn't remember the answer. And I also noticed that he was letting his class out earlier than they were supposed to let out. I was really starting to worry.
Levi and I talked about how it would change our lives, but he was there beside me.
When something feels different, it could be Alzheimer's. Now is the time to talk. Visit alz.org/ourstories to learn more. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Tracy Lawrence for the U.S. Air Force.
We all have tough choices we have to make. Life just works that way. I remember when I was getting ready to move to Nashville to pursue my dream, I packed my 10-year-old Toyota Corolla with 250,000 miles on it and hit the road. It was a tough choice, but the right one for me. If I decided to take what seemed like an easier road, I never would have achieved my dream. You can do anything if you put your mind to it. This message is brought to you by the U.S. Air Force.
Station updates, show clips, and your place to interact with us every single day just by scrolling through your feed. Follow along on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at ESPN Milwaukee. You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance. You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Eight 844-770-3776. That is the Carbless Talk and Text line. Again, courtesy of Abe and Danny, Tausch's buddies. What tier would they be in? Never mind.
I don't tier people. So
I know you don't. I know. I wasn't even going to. It was a rhetorical question. I wasn't looking for an answer. I was going to move on from it right away.
Like
no. Yeah, no.
Okay. All right.
If the Packers beat the Bears and then lose to the Seahawks, will you be satisfied as a Packers fan? 844-770.
J-Dub, who's there more pressure on? Bears or Packers this weekend? 100% agree. This is not like if the Packers win. I thought, you remember when we beat the Cowboys and it was all house money, and then San Fran was house money. I said we'll never have another house money game with this group because that's not what we do.
Yeah, you were right.
I think if we win next week, will be house money.
Yeah,
in a lot of Packers. It won't be from. I will not look at it that way.
Not for you, yeah. Mm-hmm.
No, and I don't think Packer fans should. I just feel like because we've lost games and because Micah got hurt. And listen, that post game after Micah got hurt, I said our championship aspirations, and I'm guessing they probably are. So, but I just feel like watching the Bear game and how our defense played. But then the Ravens game comes up, and I don't know what the hell to expect. That's the hard part I'm having with this. What defense are we getting? I have a good idea what offense we'd get had we played the last 3 weeks. I don't know what we're going to get the first half in Chicago.
That's fair.
I don't have a clue.
Incredibly fair. Mm-hmm.
That's where I'm just kind of I don't see another team being so much better than this team. And that's the hard part I have. Just like I thought when we had San Fran on the hook and we let them off.
Mm-hmm.
Those opportunities, you don't know when they come back. You don't know when Mike is going to blow a knee or Tucker. You don't know that. When you have it, you got to take advantage of it. You know who knows that really well now? Dan Campbell and the Detroit Lions.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I just don't want to give in to the, oh, shucks, man, if only you can do it.
So if they went on Saturday night, and they're not a lock stocker, as you like to say,
favored,
but
I
do believe they should win the game. On top of that, I'm not saying that people should be satisfied if they go to Seattle and lose, but I would think that the reaction after the game would be a higher level of understanding and forgiving. That's all. You're still going to be disappointed, especially if you're in position to win the game. To me, that's the biggest thing.
I guess it depends how the game goes. Yeah, if we get trounced like we did against the Falcons in that NFC Championship game.
Exactly.
You put your hands up and say we're outmanned. That's a whole different animal, too. So we'll worry about that when we get there.
Yeah, I got to win the first one first.
Get there. Yep.
Saturday night, 7 o'clock at Soldier Field. All right, let's get to our first call. Then we'll start digging out from under this avalanche of calls, which is awesome, by the way. I love that we're getting this many calls. 844-770-3776. Not quite to full phone lines, but very close. Let's start in Salem, Massachusetts. That's where the Salem witch trials were, right? There's a lot of Salems around. Is that the witch trial, Salem?
That is witch trial, Salem, yes.
All right.
That was Maine. You sure it wasn't Salem, Maine, that the witch trials were?
No, that's where they make blueberry pies. Let's go to John in Salem, Massachusetts. Sam, good morning. Or John, good morning from Salem.
Salem, how are you this morning?
Hi, John. How are you?
Hi, guys. Doing great. Hi, guys. I'm awesome. How are you?
We're good.
We're doing great.
No, sorry to lead in with such a lengthy introduction about witch trials and the like. What do you got for us?
No problem. Salem, Mass. is the witch area, by the way. My neighborhood is actually called Witchcraft Heights, so they really lean into it big time over here.
That's amazing.
So, isn't it cool? Halloween's big here. A lot of people get excited about it.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Jason, I wanted to touch on two things. First, how you said that, or asked if we believe that the NFC is wide open. And I do completely. And I think the matchup with the Bears in the wild card round plays a lot into that. And not only that, I think how it happened is a big deal, too. At least myself, I wanted no part of Philadelphia in the first round. And a lot of that stems from what they looked like against Baltimore. Philly isn't the same team they were last year, but I got to imagine Saquon Barkley was licking his chops if he had the chance to watch that film. And I don't think that was great. I do think that game was an aberration. It was kind of the accumulation of clinching with Detroit losing to Pittsburgh. It was the collapse against Chicago with Jordan getting hurt. And then it was Hobbs and Haddon and Riley going down in that game. So that was just kind of a perfect storm. I don't think that's truly representative of who this team and who this defense is. Mm-hmm. But now that they've got the Bears and that they've got them based on how everything went down yesterday, they've got a team that thrived on fourth quarter comebacks and one-score games this year, who have now lost 2 consecutive of those to finish out the year. So they've got to be reeling a little bit, maybe not quite feeling themselves as much as they were. And I think it's just a better matchup for the Packers. I think they can push them around a little bit, whereas I don't think they can with Philadelphia. And getting that one win in the playoffs can kind of kickstart everything. I think it's huge. And then in terms of if they beat the Bears and don't go anywhere further, I think you always say that words matter. I think it would be disappointing. I don't think it would be fair to call the season a failure. Not only because of the injuries, but exactly like you said, it's who is hurt and who is behind the players that are hurt, right? When Ryan Grant went down in 2010, James Starks was excellent in the playoffs. When they lost Woodson in the Super Bowl, Tramon Williams broke up the pass on fourth down to clinch the Super Bowl. They had guys behind the folks who got hurt stepping up, whereas, Micah Parsons goes down, Rashawn Gary's a ghost. They haven't been able to generate any pressure whatsoever. Tucker Kraft goes down, and their yak potential is just out the window. Nobody has really stepped up and taken that on. So I think all of those things factor in, and I think it's important to mention all of those. If they do win a playoff game with how this season has unfolded, I don't think it's fair to call this year a failure. It's disappointing for sure, but not a failure in my mind.
Words do matter. All right, John, because this was such a great call, and you managed to sneak a ghost reference into a call from Salem. Let me ask you this. Are you concerned about what this team is going to look like with the quarterback not having played in 2.5 games? Tausch said, who knows what the first half will look like offensively. I think that's a very fair critique. I still think what Matt LaFleur did yesterday was absolutely the right decision. But, and I came around on that because I was not feeling that way early in the week. Are you worried about what they're going to look like on Saturday night because of the way they've approached this last week and a half?
I think I'd be lying to you if I said no, but I think they're kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't. And the fact that they had Love active at all was mind-boggling to me. I know LaFleur said that if he had to go in, it would be handoffs only. And this is a very polluted mindset on my mind. But the first thing that came to my mind was, what if he goes back to take a handoff and Jacob Monk gets blown off his block and steps on Jordan's ankle and he goes down? Like, nothing is guaranteed, even just with handing the ball off. I don't think he should have been active at all if that's the route you're going to go. I think that was kind of a half measure that I was really not comfortable with. But I think this is where LaFleur can earn his money and get Jordan into a rhythm. I don't think we need to – I would like to see them set up some quick, easy hitters for Watson, maybe get some of that yak that they've struggled with all year and not rely on, the inside handoff to Jacobs and hoping he can push the pile for 6 or 7 to get the drive started. Get Watson on a slant, draw something up for Reed so that he can catch something in space, kind of get them going that way is what I would like to see.
Great call, John. We appreciate it. Lots of really good stuff in there, Tausch. I thought that was a great call.
That seemed like that was almost like your
doppelganger.
You guys are very like you guys are in simpatico, man. He is all in on Channel 3000, is what I took on that.
Sure he is. I guess I'm curious, and then we'll get to more calls coming up. I am curious if what your concern level on a scale of 1 to 10 is about what the offense is going to look like. He made, and again, I asked LaFleur early in the week, and then I asked him yesterday about having Jordan active, and that was when he said that no passes would have been attempted. But there is weird stuff that can still happen.
Sure.
And by the way, Josh, in the ESPN Madison YouTube comments, Love had his helmet on all that time because he's listening to the play calls the whole time. So that's why he's doing that. It wasn't like he was itching to get in. A few people have pointed out that he was wearing his helmet on the sideline. Your concern level about this offense?
I would say it's probably at like a 6 or a 7, just because you don't have. Now, the one good thing is I don't think the Bears are going to be some offensive juggernaut against our defense. If you get off to a slow start and you're playing San Francisco or the Rams, you're probably going to get run out of the gym, because I don't think they're going to get off to slow starts, especially, with what the Rams had to do and what they put up yesterday. With the Bears, that offense, it seems as if, and you watched the game yesterday,
I did.
That was a slow start. They rallied, but you just don't get the sense that this is some offensive juggernaut like they did against San Fran. I don't think that's going to happen against our defense, even without Micah. So you're going to be able to get away with it a little bit, and that's why I like this matchup as much as I do.
Mm-hmm.
But you're still going to need to find it, and it's not – the postseason, everything gets amplified. Every play, you don't know which one's going to be the big one. And if you start pressing, and that's what happens in football, if you go 2 series and go 3 and out, everybody tightens up a little bit. So getting off to that fast start, I always thought was really important in postseason football. You can overcome it. You can find a way. And I think that Jordan Love and this offense will, but I would be surprised. I'd be more surprised if they came out guns blazing and just walked up and down the field the first 2 possessions with as much time off as this unit has had.
Tausch, tell us about Annex Wealth Management as we kick off the new year.
Fun new partner, new year. Fun new partner. And lots of people make New Year's resolutions. Many of them, well, they'll crash and burn. And sometimes it's a lack of discipline. A lot of times it's bad advice. You can see some on TikTok or Insta-Reel or Twitter or whatever, and you start guiding your decisions by that quote-unquote expert. Sooner or later, for most people, might take a talk with an expert. So if you have a resolution that deals with your money and your earnings and investments, go talk to the experts at Annex. I've been over to Annex. They have studios. They have so many research. They got everything you're looking for at Annex. They have a team of experts that are ready to listen and talk you through your financial goals at Annex Wealth Management.
More of your calls next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Mark Tauscher here for Iron Jock. As a former athlete, I've worn just about every type of workout gear there is, and nothing compares to Iron Jock. Their performance apparel is built to fight sweat, odor, and bacteria, keeping you feeling fresh no matter how hard you push. From the gym to the pickleball court, Iron Jock keeps you dry, comfortable, and confident. Upgrade to Iron Jock. Available now at ironjock.com.
When a trophy is raised, it can feel like the season's over, but on the ESPN app, it never really is. Because with more than 47,000 live events, plus originals, highlights, and coverage from every corner of the sports world, there's always something to dive into. No off-season, just everything a fan needs to keep going. Always in season, get all of ESPN all in one place. Download the ESPN app on your TV or phone today.
Can you feel it? It's the thrill of witnessing a walk-off grand slam, a game-winning touchdown, a buzzer-beating 3. Yeah, you know the feeling. And there's only one place to experience that raw exhilaration. Potawatomi Sportsbook. Catch all the action in a supreme space with dozens of sports betting kiosks, cool drinks, luxe seating, great food, fiery atmosphere, and a monster video wall. Become a legend at Potawatomi Sportsbook. More info online. Must be 21 to enter casino.
UW Credit Union presents the Student Athlete of the Week, supporting local student athletes as they grow on the field, in the classroom, and in the community. UW Credit Union is here for every you. Learn more at uwcu.org.
With your UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week, I'm Will Summers. This week's UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week is West Allis Central Jr. and Iowa State recruit Yusuf Gray Jr. Gray led the Division I second-ranked Bulldogs to an impressive 71-44 victory over Lakeside Lutheran at the NY2LA Invite at Kettle Moraine High School. He finished with a game-high 21 points, helping West Allis Central pull away after a tight first half. After trailing midway through the opening period, the Bulldogs closed the half on a 12-4 run, then outscored Lakeside 33-17 in the second half to secure the win. Gray knocked down 10 field goals, with 8 of them coming at the rim. A top 150 recruit in the class of 2026, the 6'5" point guard continues to anchor a Bulldogs team that remains unbeaten at 6-0. Congrats to Yusuf Gray Jr., your UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week.
Rick, tell Sarah about the practical joke you came up with.
Okay, Sarah, this is really great. Are you ready?
Rick, I'm always ready. I walk around in a constant state of readiness.
A man buys a woman a pair of diamond stud earrings from Kessler's.
So far, this doesn't sound like much of a practical joke.
Be patient, he's not done yet.
And then on her birthday, or Valentine's Day, or Mother's Day, or Tuesday, he sneaks them out of her jewelry box and replaces them with a larger pair.
Well, as practical jokes go, this one sounds delightful, but it also sounds expensive.
No, he bought them at Kessler's, remember?
When you buy diamond stud earrings from Kessler's,
and we have them for $180 to $24,000 a pair,
you always get 100% of the price you paid when you trade up for a larger pair.
He just pays the difference?
He just pays the difference.
I love practical jokes. When do I get my first pair?
For the Kessler's nearest you, go to KesslersDiamonds.com.
Serious truck crash? Call Gruber Law Offices today.
Do you worry about how much someone drinks?
Do you feel neglected or unloved? If you answered yes to any of these questions, you are not alone.
Al-Anon and Alateen can help. Call 1-866-200-0223 or visit alanon.org/help.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Customizable just to you. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today.
Let's get back to your calls. 844-770-3776. I am very curious to hear what this guy says about our disappointment, satisfaction view. And again, let's not, if we learned anything from their last meeting, there's nothing you can take for granted in Packers-Bears based on the way that fell apart for the Green Bay Packers in Chicago a couple of weeks ago. But I want to get this guy's take. Let's go north of the border.
Oh, baby.
To Canada. And let's talk to Ricardo. Ricardo, good morning. How are you, buddy?
Good morning, boys and girls. It's playoff time, baby. This is what it comes down to. Listen, the only few takeaways, I have two takeaways from yesterday's game only, and just two, even though the game was completely meaningless. One, we got a hell of a punter. Dalen Williams has a leg on him. God bless that guy. And two, yesterday separated the real fans from the mediocre fans. Because if you watch that game, you're a true fan, okay? That was almost torture, but you got through it. Regardless, we turn the page. It's Bears week. It's playoff time. Now is when everything is 0-0. Time for some give back. Time to finally, rise to the occasion. You know what I mean? Everything is leaning up. Everything is wide open. No team scares me, not let alone the Bears, the Seahawks, listen. Everybody has a weakness. Everybody has strengths. Finally, LaFleur did a smart thing and he rested the starters. So now we got some help. We got some help for some key players going to the playoffs, and that's what we needed. Jordan Love. Now is when Jordan Love can really cement himself among the upper echelon of quarterbacks in the league, the elite, to elevate. Now is when he needs to literally start going to 300, 400-yard passing games, 4 touchdowns. You need to raise the offense around you. No more wide receiver committees. I don't care about that stuff. Best players play. Watson needs to be targeted. Reed needs to be targeted. Jacobs needs to be targeted. Nixon, you need to return kicks, okay? That's what you do best. We need you back there. You're an all-pro. Forget about, enough is enough. Now is when everything is in the middle. Everything is in the middle of the table. All the chips are on the table, okay? LaFleur needs to play, needs to coach for his life because guess what? It's win or go home now. You can rewrite the whole season with one game. If you win this game, no one will care about this 4-game lose. We could have won 4 games straight and still lose in the first playoff. It would be a disappointment. You lost 4 games straight, and if you win your first playoff game, guess what? No one cares. You're on to the division round. Mm-hmm. It starts fresh. Let's go, boys. It's Bear Week. Let's shut them up down in Illinois. Let's have some fun. It's Bear Week, boys.
Yes. Woo! Let's go. So I agree with everything Ricardo said except for the fan part of it. The Packers didn't care yesterday about the game. Why should the fans have cared? That's how I look at it. So I disagree with Ricardo. It's not about the real ones or whatever. You heard a coach tell you they'd hand the ball off 100 times and not think about throwing a pass. They didn't care. And that's okay. I mean, I understand why it all played out, but I'm not going to let Ricardo, who is the beacon of positivity, say that if you didn't care yesterday. No. I disagree with Rico big time on that part of it. But the rest of it, nobody is going to care about the 4-game losing streak, although I'll say this. Had you won the last 2, we'd be in the 2 slot hosting the next 2 games at Lambeau. So if you end up getting beat and have to go to Seattle where you could have played Philly or someone else at home, there is a ripple effect that you could look at and still kind of say, boy, what if. That's not the world we live in. You deal with where you're at. And I don't think going out to Seattle, now it's going to be a big, big challenge. It's not going against the big juggernauts that we've seen in the past. Even though they're 14-3 and are a very good football team, I couldn't agree more with let's find a way to get this done in Chicago, and then we can figure out how to go beat Seattle.
So if you are power ranking your regrets of the season and you take out the injuries because there's nothing you could have done to prevent those, is the biggest regret has to be, even more so than the Bears loss, playing the way you did against Baltimore and allowing them to bully ball you with their Hall of Fame running back. Because, again, you win that game, the Bears lose to the 49ers. There is something on the line yesterday. And you're telling me that the Packers' frontline players don't beat the guys that they put out there for Minnesota?
No, we would have beat Minnesota yesterday.
Yes, no, and suddenly now, exactly, you're the 2 seed. You're playing at home in the first round.
Jesse and I cash our Hard Rock slip.
I know, but that doesn't affect how you view it. Yep.
No, it doesn't, but it's part of the deal. Here's what I would say. I would disagree with your premise on the Ravens. The Ravens came and beat the hell out of us. That's football. What are you going to do? Oh, bow up and be tougher? No, we are who we are, and they did what they did.
But they beat themselves against the Bears.
I look back at why on earth were we and again, Jordan Love can't make that throw, but the Cleveland Browns loss is completely unacceptable. They couldn't move the ball a yard. Run the ball, punt, and win the game. You try something flashy, you throw a bad interception, and that gets your blank beat. That game changed the complexion of the season, too. Carolina, you could make the same arguments. They beat us. We played like junk. Cleveland, we handed it to them. Those are the ones that get you. Baltimore beat the hell out of us. I can't say. What am I going to say? Well, please stop Derrick Henry? Yeah, it's easier said than done. We couldn't do it. Stop Cleveland Browns from going on an 80-yard drive to go get a toucher to beat us? Yeah, we had Micah Parsons then yet too, by the way, and he was the Sandman, by the way. So, no, that game is the one that I'm going to look back at this season and say, if only. Because if only, all of a sudden, we're probably 11-6-1, and we're the division champs, and we're hosting everything but the NFC Championship game.
And certainly yesterday would not have been the type of game that it was. 844-770-3776. 844-770.
Was there a worse game in your 30 years of covering the team? Strictly from a watch and an execution. Is there a worse game that you've watched in 30 years?
I'm going to have to think
Jason,
about
we had
that.
negative 3 yards passing for a while, wasn't it? And it was. We didn't even try.
No, not for a while. They finished the game with -7 yards net passing. That's how they finished the game.
You cannot have watched a game in your 30 years that was worse than that.
There was the Lions game in 2018 when Rodgers, that was the last time they got shut out.
Sure.
After McCarthy got fired, it was the finale.
We were still trying to move the ball. Yesterday, we weren't even trying to move the ball.
Like, Rodgers at least played in that game, right?
Briefly, and then he got a
early.
concussion. And then it was, I believe, Deshaun Kaiser. They lost 31-0. And so at least the Packers defense did a good job yesterday.
That's fair. And the punter was good.
He was great. We will get some.
So you're saying this is in the Mount Rushmore of worst games you've ever watched as a beat writer?
What I'm basically trying to do here, besides get the break, is trying to think of any game that has any chance of even being in the same conversation. Because no, it was pitiful. It was everything I hoped it wouldn't be. Like I was hoping, like the guys that are the
what kind of bowl gifts did you get?
Nothing. I got my Channel 3000 hat. Everything that I was hoping would happen.
FBI is on next week.
Everything that I was hoping would happen. Bo Melton playing on both sides of the ball. Trayvon Diggs and Jalen Simpson both having interceptions. The Jacoby Keeney, like the practice squad call-up guys scoring a touchdown. None of that happened. None of it. But Matt LaFleur did call timeout with 2 seconds left so he could kick a field goal and avoid the shutout. You should avoid getting hurt in an accident. It would be great if you never have to call Gruber offices. But if you do get hurt, that's the call to make. One call, that's all. 414-276-6666. 414-276-6666. Don't worry about all these other folks that are trying to get your business. Go with the team that has been doing it for 40 years and knows how to win. Go to Gruber-Law.com to find out more. We will get to more of your calls next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. Whether it's live or in podcast form, you've heard us on air with all of our shenanigans.
Gabe, I'm throwing some... Why are you throwing... I don't want...
Now see your favorite 94.5 ESPN shows streaming on video.
By me, by the way. I hit that microphone like 4 out of 6 times on that.
Subscribe to ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube and get notified when we hit the air live. Plus, you can watch back any second that you miss and see original digital content too. Watch, listen, interact. ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Make your next activation or event a slam dunk with Captivate Exhibits, your leader in transforming spaces and creating brand experiences that truly stand out and connect. If you can dream it, Captivate can design it, build it, and activate it. From trade shows and events to enhancing interior spaces like your lobby, history wall, or break room, Captivate Exhibits turns ideas into highlight reels. With over 32 years of award-winning experience, Captivate delivers every time, always beating the buzzer. Get started with your next big idea today at CaptivateExhibits.com.
$2.3 million. A recent Schwab survey of Americans says that it takes $2.3 million to be wealthy. Well, you may have had your financial plan set on a bigger or a more humble number. But if you're looking for added insights on how to get there or how to avoid some tax pitfalls on the way, Annex Wealth Management is ready to listen. Mark Tauscher here, and whether your situation is complex or simple, the Annex Wealth Management team can give you wealth expertise and guidance on reaching your goals. Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference.
Let's get the latest from Lambeau. This is your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee. Why Z-Bart? Because you don't want rust holes in your expensive vehicle. Let Z-Bart keep the rust away with professional rust protection. Only at Z-Bart.
The Packers closed the regular season with a 16-3 loss to the Vikings while resting most of their starters. Quarterback Clayton Tune was sacked 4 times, and punter Daniel Whelan logged 8 punts for 431 yards, the 5th most in team history. Here's head coach Matt LaFleur after the game.
I think our guys are excited. They're excited for the challenge. They're excited for the opportunity, and that's how we're going to attack it, and that's our mindset, because right now, when you get to the postseason, everybody's 0-0. It's a clean slate, so we have an opportunity, and that's all you can ask for.
The Packers finished the season at 9-7-1 and will now head to Chicago to take on the Bears in the first round of the playoffs.
This has been your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee.
Do you want your car to shine like a diamond? Then you need Z-Gloss from Z-Bart. Z-Gloss gives you a mirror finish and protects your paint from everything Mother Nature can throw at it with a 10-year guarantee. Visit zbart.com for more information.
We love the Packers. We bleed green and gold. And every time our team takes the field, well, it's pure football bliss. If only there was a way to experience that blissful winning feeling every day. At Associated Bank, we've got you with 10% off Lambeau concessions and 15% off Pro Shop merch. All when you get Packers checking from Associated Bank. It's how Packers fans keep winning on game day and every day. Associated Bank, Bank of the Packers. Learn more at associatedbank.com/Packers. Member FDIC.
People say buying a home in winter is tough.
But fewer buyers means less competition, and motivated sellers can mean better opportunities.
This is Tony Wendorf with Tony Wendorf & Associates First Weber.
And I'm Lindsay Bendler. When the perfect home appears, our team at Tony Wendorf & Associates helps you move fast, even during the snow.
Start your home journey today with our white glove service by simply searching online Tony Wendorf.
A real estate team that always leads with faith and gratitude.
Tony Wendorf & Associates.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year.
For over 50 years, Covenant House has been helping youth in crisis. To learn more, go to covenanthouse.org today.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Packers, Bears, Saturday night. on Amazon
By the way,
Prime.
love this Saturday night compared to the rest of it. I was hoping against Monday night. Sunday night
that doesn't fit your schedule?
No, I just don't want to play Monday night. I just didn't want to. I think drag it out. I wanted it to be – I thought if I had to pick, Sunday afternoon was where I thought it was going to land, that 3:30 window. Mm-hmm. I thought that was going to be it. I was shocked that it wasn't – I thought for sure the Sunday night game was either going to be Philly, San Fran, or us and the Bears. Thought that was going to be it. And when New England fell into that, I was kind of like, whoa, okay. But I'm kind of convinced not to say – because I'm not saying the NFL is scripted. I know there's plenty of fans that feel that way. I don't. Do I think there's – I don't want to go down that. I just don't think that's the case. But do I think that they know Seattle's going to play Saturday night, are going to host next week, and they want to have a team that plays them on a full week's rest? I do. Oh, I do. And that's why I think they have the Rams, because they think the Rams are probably going to win.
Correct.
Now, obviously, it could all get thrown off, and San Francisco could win. We could lose to the Bears, and then it's San Fran heading back out to Seattle to see that matchup. This again, I'll probably wait till next week to really make a push. Jesse, book Greeny for next Monday or Tuesday. I'm going to push to get this Pick Your Opponent on that Tuesday show next week, because I still think that is the right thing for the NFL to do.
Get right on that. You already pitched the idea to him. He already said he liked it.
Well, I need him to amplify it. Him or McAfee. You can get either one of them. One of those two guys can help amplify this point. Either one's fine with me.
Greeny. The Saturday games, as Tausch said, are Rams at Panthers and Packers at Bears. The Sunday games, the early game is
Both roadies
Bills
are winning that game. Both roadies.
Bills at Jaguars. The Bills winning that game? Oh, okay.
Nope.
49ers at Eagles.
Eagles win that game.
And Chargers, Patriots in the nightcap.
Patriots win big.
And then the Monday night game, Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers playing host to the Houston Texans.
Houston wins big.
Okay, there you go.
Those are my predictions.
Make your predictions / wagers accordingly. We will go back to the phones to kick off the 10 o'clock hour. Thomas in Chicago, you'll be first up. There are a few spots open still. We do not have full phone lines, which I know we enjoy at our end. So get your calls in, 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776. Your calls to kick off the 10 o'clock hour in 2 minutes. So stick around.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Let's get the latest from Lambeau. This is your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Tri-City National Bank. Tri-City National Bank offers a full suite of personal and business banking products at more than 25 convenient locations. Open your account today at the community bank that's Milwaukee's best bank. Learn more at tcnb.com.
The Packers closed the regular season with a 16-3 loss to the Vikings while resting most of their starters. Quarterback Clayton Tune was sacked 4 times, and punter Daniel Whelan logged 8 punts for 431 yards, the 5th most in team history. Here's head coach Matt LaFleur after the game.
I think our guys are excited. They're excited for the challenge. They're excited for the opportunity, and that's how we're going to attack it, and that's our mindset, because right now, when you get to the postseason, everybody's 0-0. It's a clean slate, so we have an opportunity, and that's all you can ask for.
The Packers finished the season at 9-7-1 and will now head to Chicago to take on the Bears in the first round of the playoffs.
This has been your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Tri-City National Bank, your hometown bank.
Concerned about fraud? Tri-City's got your back. Use debit card alerts. Help stop a card hack. You'll get notified when your card's being used so you can prevent your account from abuse. Tri-City National Bank, member FDIC.
Hey Tom, I want a new hoop for the kids. Any ideas?
Yeah, I got mine from Precision Sports over 10 years ago. They helped me choose the right hoop, installed it, and even painted my court lines.
Nice. How do I reach them?
Easy. PrecisionSportsOnline.com for a free quote.
Can you feel it? It's the thrill of witnessing a walk-off grand slam, a game-winning touchdown, a buzzer-beating 3. Yeah, you know the feeling. And there's only one place to experience that raw exhilaration. Potawatomi Sportsbook. Catch all the action in a supreme space with dozens of sports betting kiosks, cool drinks, luxe seating, great food, fiery atmosphere, and a monster video wall. Become a legend at Potawatomi Sportsbook. More info online. Must be 21 to enter casino.
Tune in to KBN every day at 2 o'clock. Kyle Brust and Nortman. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
The 10 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch begins now. And it begins with more calls. 844-770-3776. 844-770-3776. My apologies to David in St. Petersburg, who could not wait on hold any longer. But there are some open spots. The questions, again, that we have for you for today. And again, I'm crediting Abe and Danny, correct? Is that correct? Yep. Abe and Danny, who brought this to Old Boy's attention today or yesterday. If the Packers beat the Bears,
Jesse, how do you feel? How do you feel about that, Jesse?
Can I reset? Can I briefly reset the question? Would that be okay?
Sure, reset. My bad.
Okay, thanks. If the Packers beat the Bears and then lose to the Seahawks, will you be satisfied with the season? Jesse, we haven't gotten your answer to that question yet.
Oh, thanks for asking, Jason. I am of the expectation for the Green Bay Packers to reach the NFC Championship game.
Expectation like that should be what they accomplish,
yes.
Or you believe that they are going to do that?
Both?
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
You don't believe
I said if this playoff bracket fell the way that it did, where the Packers play the Bears in the first round, who the Bears are frauds. They've been exposed the last couple of weeks. They've been exposed all season long. They've just gotten away with it for every game. It's ridiculous. They're actually going to play.
Frauds is strong, Gel.
They're frauds. Nah, they're frauds.
Okay.
And the Seahawks are the team of the three that made the playoffs in the NFC West. They're the team that least scares me because of their lack of playoff experience and Sam Darnold's typical performances if he does get to play in a big game like this. I am of the expectation that I believe the Packers, even with the injuries that they've sustained, even with the struggles and the stumbling to the finish line that they've done, I believe that they should win 2 playoff games, knowing what the path is against the Bears and Seahawks. And then I think if it's Philly or the Rams or the 49ers, then we're going to start to run into some trouble in the NFC Championship game based on injuries and who's available. But those first 2 games, I feel really good about the Packers winning them, and my expectation is for them to play in the NFC Championship game.
I kind of agree with Jesse. Because yesterday, as I was watching both games, the Commanders and Eagles, and when the Eagles pulled ahead 17-10, I thought this is bad news because at that point I think the Lions were ahead 16-0. Obviously, everything changed, and it was kind of a crazy last 3 or 4 minutes of both of those games. By the way,
for sure.
How bad are the quarterbacks in this league? Oh my God! How good do the Green Bay Packers have it? Now, obviously, Tune's not the guy. Like, I don't think Tune's going to be our backup next year unless something crazy happens. But I just watched the Philadelphia Eagles, who are the world champs. That's their backup. It's 4th and 16, and you throw the ball out of bounds at the end of the game? Give your guys a chance, man. And I saw the Chargers do the same thing. What the hell are you doing? It's the end of the game. It's not like you were getting drilled. Throw it up in the air and give a guy a chance. What in the world? No wonder for now, the NFL, the way they protected their starting quarterbacks, I almost think we need to do more. That crap was unwatchable. What I watched yesterday between Pierce Brosner, and Johnny Toon, and I don't even know the dude from Philly. And they got a 39-year-old quarterback that's in his 19th year that's had 10 starts in his life for Washington. And he was a star of stars. He was a star yesterday. We need to bubble wrap our quarterbacks more because that is unwatchable. So that was my other lesson I learned yesterday. But the thing, my takeaway was, had Philly gotten the 2 seed, I was picking Philly to beat us and the season to be over. This way, I see a road to the NFC Championship game. I didn't had we had the 2-7 going to Philly. That's how I felt.
844-770-3776. Let's get back to the phones. Let's talk to Thomas in Chicago. Thomas, good morning. You're going to have a fun week with your Bears fan friends. How are we doing?
I'm doing fine. I guess to answer your questions, yeah, it would be satisfying if we beat the Bears but lose to Seattle. I mean, that's Seattle defense. When you have I'm sorry. When you have cornerbacks who can take down George Kittle one-on-one, you are violent and vicious. Because I'm sorry, you think Valentine is going to do that or Keyshawn Nixon? I don't think so. So Seattle's defense is like the real deal. So I'm satisfied if we beat the Bears because that's arch rivals, and plus I don't have to hear them have bragging rights. But my main overarching point, Jason, I want to get to is I think the whole Matt LaFleur question. Out of these, I look at head coaches like Kevin O'Connell, Liam Cohen, Sean Payton, Kyle Shanahan, Sean McVay. I would feel a lot better if those guys were head coaches with this exact team because they're all composed. I mean, frankly, look at Kevin O'Connell. You want to talk about quarterbacks? He's dealt with J.J. McCarthy and Max Brosnan and still got 9 wins. So I just feel like the whole Matt LaFleur. Right. Yeah. And like Liam Cohen, the Jags were trash last year. And they won 12 games and won the division. And I just like the whole – yeah. Oh, my God. And then the whole the whole Matt LaFleur question, I think if they lose, I think there's questions. I think if they win, I think he still keeps his job. I just wish that he was more composed and, like, wasn't doing all cutesy stuff and, like, just whole game plan, just play the best players. And so, yeah, I just look at all these other offensive minds, and they just, like, it's just feed, like Tosh, just feed – your best players enough with the whole spreading around the offense and stuff like that. So I just look at these other offensive minds and look what they do. And like with the guys and what's so great about Kevin McConnell and all these other offensive minds, the guys that you don't think of step up. Like you think of the Broncos wide receivers, I think Pac Trans will take our wide receivers over theirs, but they still win. So I think that's what Matt LaFleur's issues is that he doesn't have other people step up or he doesn't put people in the right position. I think that's what people are calling for his job.
So first of all, and great call. We appreciate the call, Thomas. So when it comes to LaFleur, first of all, I do say this, and I don't think it's a wide margin, but I would say the evidence to this point would tell me that Kevin O'Connell's a little bit better coach than Matt LaFleur is. Fair?
I can't argue with that. Nope.
Secondly, I do think that it's unfair to Matt LaFleur to dock him because he had Aaron Rodgers as his quarterback, right? Those first 2 years, they go to the NFC Championship game. They were not in a great place in 2018. As we just discussed, their last game of the season, they lost 31-0 at home to the Lions. They had fired Mike McCarthy on that dank, dark, cold, rainy December afternoon. In 2020, and I understand there was nobody in the stands, which certainly helps you on road trips, the Packers led the NFL in scoring that year. You know, Aaron Rodgers won MVP number 3 of his 4. Now, Aaron Rodgers is certainly an all-time great. No one's disputing that. But he needed a refresh, just like Brett Favre needed a refresh when they hired Mike McCarthy. You were there for that. So I think Matt LaFleur does deserve credit for that. If you want to criticize him, and I think he is by far not above criticism, I think the criticism is, has there been an evolution now to a degree where you feel like he's out scheming and out coaching opposing coaches? I think that's a fair question to ask. I don't have a problem if you ask that question as a fan, because I think there's an argument to be made and a conversation to be had there. But I don't love the idea. Like, Liam Cohen has been great this year. Not as good as Evan Cohen would have been had he been coaching them, but still really, really good. And there's no question that O'Connell got the most out of his team because, again, watching J.J. McCarthy, I don't see
How they won 9 games with this group this year is amazing.
Yep.
It's amazing.
I mean, watching J.J. McCarthy, I don't see it. I just don't.
He stinks.
So
Rodgers or Malik Willis going to be their bridge quarterback.
You're right. I believe you are correct. So let's get to more calls. Let's get to one more, and then we'll take a break because I know there's a lot of folks waiting. 844-770-3776. So Elliot, Jeff, and Mo, hold on. We got some more spots, too, if you want to get in on the conversation. Again, 844-770-3776. That is the Carbless talk and text line. Lists is more. But let's get to Eric in Green Bay first. Eric, how's the weather there? Am I going to have any trouble driving back from Minneapolis when the show ends?
You should be A-okay today. Clear skies.
Sounds good. What do you got for us, buddy?
Yeah, so for expectations, especially with this team kind of in the playoffs, I'm sort of in a week-by-week limbo. And just kind of like look at the last few years, for example. Like, what were your expectations in Love's first year as a starter going into the Dallas game?
Very low.
Nothing, right? House money. After we absolutely dismantled them, what were the expectations going into San Francisco? It wasn't house money.
House money. Yep.
Tausch was house money. They raised the expectations, though. Like, you could then kind of bargain with the mentality that it was house money afterward.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
So going into the year, my expectations were kind of right around that Vegas line, maybe 9-10 wins. I thought we were going to be competing with kind of like the Vikings Lions last year, competing for the top spot in the division. And then after the Micah Parsons signing, expectations went way up. After the Micah Parsons injury, after the Tucker Kraft injury, kind of temper those expectations a bit. So I think if we go in and absolutely destroy the Bears and we kind of pull a Dallas again, now my expectations, like I'm not satisfied with losing to Seattle. If we go in and it's another tight game back and forth, like both games came down to the last drive, and we just squeak back Chicago, that to me kind of solidifies our place as like, this is a team that deserves to be in the divisional round, but maybe not go further. If we win big, I expect to compete and beat Seattle.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at.
And look, let's be clear here. This is not like the Seattle Seahawks are a good football team. Let's not pretend that
14-3,
the number one seed in the NFC. Let's not pretend here that they're not a good team. They are. We all can agree on that. Their defense was number one in scoring defense this season. They allowed 17.2 points per game. They were 6th in total defense. They were 3rd in rushing defense, 10th in pass defense. Like, they've got a good defense. Their offense, Sam Darnold, for as good as he was to get, to be selected as a Pro Bowler and everything else, he threw a heck of a lot of picks. Unfortunately for the Jets, they didn't get to play him, I don't think, because they finished the entire season without an interception, which is still
impossible.
Really incredible.
It's almost impossible.
But look, statistically, and again, statistics can say what you want. The Seattle Seahawks were the 3rd highest scoring offense in the NFL. They put up numbers, right? They were I think they were 8th in total offense. Like, let's not pretend that there's some schlubs. At the same time,
not either.
I just don't see this as if they beat the Bears, they have no chance in Seattle. I don't see it that way at all. I'm not saying that, but
Nobody
I think it's fair for people to say, hey, if they go to Seattle, first of all, they have to beat the Bears. I I'm not really looking forward to the Monday show if they get beat by the Bears, because there's going to be some really angry people.
Yeah.
And they would have every right to feel that way. I'm not in any way saying you wouldn't have the right to feel that way. I believe they will beat the Bears. If they do, again, our question is, if they go to Seattle then and lose, are you satisfied with the season considering all the factors? Considering all the factors. Because I would also add this. If they're in this exact spot, which I don't think they would be, if they had Parsons and Kraft still, my expectation is you are playing for a berth in the Super Bowl. You may not win on that Sunday. Yes, but you are playing for a trip to Santa Clara and Super Bowl 60. And I don't believe they're good enough to do that, but I also believe that the NFC is open enough that if they somehow pulled it off, it would be a great story, but I would be very surprised. But we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, just so I think Jesse and I are sitting here saying we don't fear Seattle. Seattle will be, I would say, somewhere between 5 and 7 point favorites against the Green Bay Packers in Seattle next Saturday night, if the Green Bay Packers can advance and beat the Bears.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think would be.
844-770-3776, 844-770-3776. That is the Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more. We will get to more of your calls after Tausch tells us about Coors Lights.
Coors Light brewed with that 3-step cold process, cold lager, cold filtered, and cold packaged, because it is made to chill. And whether you're watching bad, not even preseason football, or you're watching River Falls go win a Stag Bowl championship. Oh, baby, what a great win. What a story. Love seeing their coach get all choked up. I know Jesse is now Mr. Weak, as he's done the big game the other night. He's doing one every week. Congrats to River Falls. Crack open a Coors Light to celebrate their championship. Celebrate responsibly, of course. Coors Brewing Company at Golden, Colorado.
More of your calls next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. All day, every day, the Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you.
First off, there is not one team that's on the fringe that scares me.
800-990-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more.
Every child deserves a safe, loving, and permanent home. Help the Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption find families for children who've lingered in foster care the longest. Learn more at davethomasfoundation.org.
Without an Advent clinic nearby, people suffering needlessly from chronic nasal congestion and sinus infections would be stuck with either Band-Aid or Sledgehammer solutions. Band-Aids are pills or nasal sprays, and they're not true solutions. Surgery is a sledgehammer, and that's what we're trying to avoid. Because most people don't need surgery for nose and sinus issues, nor do they want a 14-day recovery. Our unique Advent approach can, in 20 minutes in our office, open your blocked nose for good, with only 1-day recovery. I'm Advent founder Dr. Kandula. Outside of Advent's 4 walls, invasive surgery is what they'll recommend. But here you will find effective and convenient in-office solutions to help you stop the need for Band-Aids and avoid the sledgehammer.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Most insurance accepted.
This is Eric Brown, owner of Siding Unlimited, letting you know that Siding Unlimited installs Pella windows and doors. That's right, Siding Unlimited installs windows, and we do it really well, earning the prestigious Pella Platinum Premier National Certified Contractor of the Year award 5 times. New windows, our expert team will deliver on a smooth, hassle-free installation, making you feel proud of calling Siding Unlimited for your window project. What's the next step? Call 262-567-4513 or go to sidingunlimited.com. With your Saganiac Plenty Marquette recap, I'm Will Summers. Marquette's struggles continued with a 73-57 loss at number 4 Connecticut on Sunday afternoon. The Golden Eagles shot 11 for 34 in the first half and 2 for 11 from 3, but still trailed by just 9 at halftime.
Down 7, Ross all the way to the basket with the right hand, missed the layup, but Clark is there for the easy stuff follow.
UConn would eventually break the game open early in the second half, stretching the lead to as many as 23 points. The Golden Eagles will now look to get their first Big East win as they get back to Pfizer Forum on Wednesday to battle Xavier.
Your business is unique, and your health plan should be too. At United Healthcare, our group health plans are built for you and your employees. Whether you're running a small startup or managing a large enterprise, we offer solutions designed to fit your needs, your goals, and your budget. Explore your options today at uhc.com/Wisconsin. Insurance coverage provided by or through United Healthcare Insurance Company or its affiliates. Administrative services provided by United Healthcare Services, Inc. or their affiliates. Health plan coverage provided by or through United Healthcare of Wisconsin, Inc.
It's time for the Marquette Minute on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Wintrust, Wisconsin's bank, the official banking partner of Marquette University, and home to Marquette Checking with free ATMs nationwide.
Marquette couldn't keep pace with 4th-ranked UConn, falling 73-57 on Sunday afternoon. The Golden Eagles entered the game still searching for their first Big East win and kept things competitive early, trailing 37-28 at halftime. But UConn would take control early in the second half as the Huskies pushed the lead to 23 and didn't let up. Freshman Nigel James Jr. led Marquette with 15 points, and Ben Gold recorded 11 rebounds. Here's head coach Shaka Smart after the game.
We, missed a lot of layups. We missed some free throws. We didn't shoot the ball well from 3, but there was a better rhythm. I thought in the second half it was too much stopping after one action, and UConn did a good job defending us.
The Golden Eagles will look to get back in the win column at home against Xavier on Wednesday. I'm Will Summers.
This has been the Marquette Minute on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Wintrust, Wisconsin's bank, the official bank of Marquette University. This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
To your calls, 844-770-3776. That is the Carbless Talk and Text line. By the way, another coaching firing. So it was Raheem Morris. Then it was Kevin Stefanski. And now, one and done for Pete Carroll in Vegas.
That's a no-brainer. That team's garbage. That's a bad football.
Why did they ever hire him?
They wanted some professionalism and trying to get that culture reset and get that competitive juice, and it didn't work. And that thing is a hot mess out there.
Good luck. Good luck to whoever gets that job next. 844.
You have nowhere to go but up. You got nowhere to go but up.
It's been said about them for a while now. Let's go to your calls again. 844-770-3776. That is the Carbless Talk and Text line. List is more. Let's go to Elliot in Waukesha. Elliot, thanks for waiting. Good morning. How you doing today?
Good morning, gentlemen. How are you?
Awesome.
Super.
Expectations. What do you got?
I guess my answer would be yes, because to some, this could be considered a local Super Bowl. And my comment goes more along the lines of when Ben Johnson called out Matt LaFleur when he became coach. I always wondered why he said Matt LaFleur or not beat the Packers twice a year. So I'm wondering, I hear teams, the players don't hold grudges or believe in rivalries or whatever, but is there one of these do one for the Gipper kind of thing? Like, that's BS that he called out the coach, so let's win it for him, or you know what I mean? Is there any?
So I didn't get the sense. To that. Yeah, good question, Elliot. So going into the first game when the Packers beat them at Lambeau, I did not get the sense, and I think Domofsky said the same thing. I didn't get the sense that the players were like, their coach was a jerk to our coach. We got to go beat him. I never got that sense. I think the coaches for sure felt that vibe.
Who was that imitation? Was that
Not
Micah?
sure.
Like who?
I was trying to. I was just trying to voice. It didn't go well.
Oh, okay.
Which is not the first time that's happened on this show to any of us, if we're being honest.
That's true. Very true.
Yeah, it was bad. It was there's no doubt that was poor.
Guys there, go beat the Bears for the coach.
Win one for the coach. I think I was going for.
It was Clayton Toon.
No, I think it was. I think I was going for like the old timey like newsman, but then I was doing it as a player. Oh, you gotta get ready for the big game, and you gotta win the game for the.
I got you.
Kind of a thing. Execution was poor.
Kind of sounded like the Badgers outsider.
I've sounded like worse. By the way, big trip to Reedsburg coming up for the Wildies. But I think now there is genuine animosity.
What, are the Packers playing the Vikings again? Is that why you're going to Reedsburg? That's the only time you go on the road. Is when the Packers play the Vikings.
I believe I'll be going to Chicago, and they'll be going to Reedsburg for a volleyball tournament, and I'll be missing it, which sucks. But to Elliot's point, I do think now there is some legit waxy buildup here, and there's some animosity between the players. You saw the thing with Luther Burden and with Keyshawn Nixon. I think there's some legitimacy there now. So this is a rivalry for sure. I think players maybe underestimated it because they'd owned the Bears for so long. I think the Packers players are really pissed at not only the Bears, but themselves for letting that game slip away. And now Ben Johnson again is out there. We'll play this a little bit later in the show. Now Ben Johnson's out there again, taking shots, saying, we play football. We don't rest our guys. We'll hear that a little bit later coming up.
Team that's
right, which my comment to him would be, you played your guys and you lost.
Yeah, which is worse. Here's what I'd say. Playoff football doesn't need any extrinsic motivation. Uh-huh. Everybody is all in and focused because they see the light, and everybody knows what's at stake. It is legacy making. There's just a lot there. Everybody wants to be a part of a championship football team, and you're smelling it. And every time you win, it gets even. That smell just continues to get closer and closer, and you feel it. But there are little things that can add. And I do think the fact that they've played this team now, it'll be 3 times in 7 weeks. Mm-hmm. That's something. And the fact that the Bears have taken over the North. They won the division. We can sit here and say all we want. We should have done this. We dominated them for 55, 56 minutes. Mm-hmm. None of that matters. And very rarely in life do you get to immediately right a wrong. Mm-hmm. Usually it takes time, especially in the football world. A lot of times you got to wait and wait. In this case, the Packers felt like they really blanked up. Mm-hmm. Everybody in that locker room was, and Jason, you were down there. I would bet everybody in that locker room felt sick to their stomach with we could have done this, and this never should have come to Romeo, not holding the onside kick. Everybody had roles within that. And here you can rectify all that. That will be a fart in the wind in the Packer-Bear saga this year if Green Bay goes down there and beats them. Yeah, they could say, we won the division. Oh, that's cute. Nobody cares at this point. The Bears will parade they'll put their big banner up, whatever field they end up building. But this game Saturday is going to be the decider, and that will be the main motivation. But no doubt there will be a little extra with all this added juice, and you could tell this is great for sports, by the way. This is great for the rivalry. When you wanted Caleb Williams to be the guy, this is what you were hoping for, because storytelling is better when there's a ton of passion, whether that's love, hate, whatever it is, and when that competitive juices are This has been the longest running rivalry. It wasn't long ago. I think it was last year or 2 years ago, Steve the Homer True said that the Bears-Packers rivalry was a nothing burger. He can't say that anymore.
No, he cannot. All right, I want to get some more of your calls. I do want to play that clip from Ben Johnson from yesterday as well. So we've got that. And, of course, we always snub our texters on Mondays. So we may have time to get some text for a change of pace on a Monday as well. But if you're on hold, stay there. If you want to get in on the conversation, there's still time to do so. 844-770-3776. That is the Carbless Talking text line. Less is more. Want to remind you, Associated Bank, they're the best in the business. They're everywhere. They're in Illinois. They're in Minnesota. But they're most importantly in Wisconsin. It's not branches that make a bank local. It's roots. And Associated Bank's roots run deep in Wisconsin. So go to AssociatedBank.com. If you haven't made the switch already, it's time to make the switch to the best customer service in the industry. They've got the awards to prove it. They've got early pay from your employer. They've got credit monitoring to make sure you're ready for that big purchase. And they've got fraud protection. If anybody tries to take your many, many dollars in your bank account, they've got you covered. So go to AssociatedBank.com to find out more. More Wilde and Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Badger fans, get ready to give back and chuck some pucks. Join Wisconsin Men's Hockey Friday, January 9th as the Badgers host Chuck a Puck, presented by BMO when they take on Alaska Anchorage at 7 p.m. Donate new or gently used recess equipment for the Boys and Girls Club of Dane County to earn your chance to throw a puck on the ice after the game and win prizes like a Wisconsin hockey jersey, signed sticks, or 2026-27 season tickets. Get your tickets to the game now and learn more at uwbadgers.com.
Potawatomi Casino Hotel wants to extend a sincere thank you to our guests and bingo players. With your generosity, this year's Heart of Canal Street event raised more than $700,000, helping 30 children's charities across southeastern Wisconsin. For more than 30 years, Heart of Canal Street has partnered with hundreds of local organizations to give children safe spaces, resources, and opportunities to thrive. Thank you for sharing your heart. Learn more at potawatomi.com/heart.
Is it time to buy an engagement ring?
Or a big anniversary diamond?
Kessler's has diamonds that come from diamond mines.
And we also have diamonds that come from plasma chambers.
When you see the size of the diamond you can afford when you look at our high-tech newborn created diamonds,
you're going to be happy, happy, happy.
And with approved credit, our financing plans make anything possible.
Our selection of engagement rings is beyond compare.
And our custom design department can modify any ring in any way you choose.
Anyone who says they can give you a better ring
or a better diamond
or a better price
has never been to Kessler's.
And our miraculous no small print warranty says,
if you bought it at Kessler's, it's guaranteed.
It's just that simple.
And all maintenance is free forever.
No charge.
Yes, it really is that miraculous.
You found a partner you want to share your life with.
When you're ready to celebrate,
we've got a diamond for that.
Find the Kesslers nearest you at KesslersDiamonds.com.
$2.3 million. A recent Schwab survey of Americans says that it takes $2.3 million to be wealthy. Well, you may have had your financial plan set on a bigger or a more humble number. But if you're looking for added insights on how to get there or how to avoid some tax pitfalls on the way, Annex Wealth Management is ready to listen. Mark Tauscher here, and whether your situation is complex or simple, the Annex Wealth Management team can give you wealth expertise and guidance on reaching your goals. Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference.
We asked parents who adopted teens to share their journey.
There are many times I thought, I can't do this. I mean, what parent isn't worried about? What am I not doing right? What am I not doing enough? And then I realized, wait, that's being a parent.
Don't worry about being perfect. I've had around 3 other mother figures in my life, but only one of them has taught me how a mother loves.
The greatest reward for me is he makes me better every day.
I would tell a family considering adopting a teenager that teenager, whoever it is, needs you, and they need what you have to offer.
Taylor's given me hope. He's our son, and that is what he will always be.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to learn more. A message brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
I think it's just vapor. Vaping is safer than smoking, isn't it?
There's really not even that much nicotine in them, right?
One vape pod has as much nicotine as one pack of cigarettes.
My kid knows it's dangerous.
5.4 million American kids vape, and most think it's harmless. Get your head out of the cloud. Talk to your kid about vaping. Visit talkaboutvaping.org. That's talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Eight 844-770-3776. That is the Carbless Talk and Text line. Lists is more. A little bit of breaking news, Packers related, from Tom Pelissero of NFL Network. John Eric Sullivan, one of the right-hand men for Goody, will interview for the vacant Miami Dolphins GM job coming up. They have begun their process of finding a replacement after they fired their GM, but maybe are still keeping Mike McDaniel. It appears that they are going to. So, but hey, if you change your GM, that means there's a chance you may change your coach too after you've changed GM. So we'll have to wait and see what happens there. But right now, that is the news from Tom Pelissero. John Eric Sullivan, a key part of the Packers front office, will be part of that. Let's get back to your calls. 844-770-3776. That's the Carbless Talk and Text line. List is more. Let's go to Jeff in Milwaukee. Jeff, thanks for waiting so long. Good morning. Welcome to Wilde and Tausch. How you doing?
Doing great, guys. Thank you. Just want to start off with a question. Tausch, did Strophe give you the message from yesterday?
Ooh, a message.
He did not. What was the message?
The message was, I sent you a Christmas gift to the ESPN place on Washington Avenue. I have no idea how often you get over there.
Oh, not often enough.
If you get over there, there's a package there for you. It's just a little Christmas gift to thank you for the years of work. Yeah, you bet.
Got it. Appreciate you.
Did we get one too, Jeff, Jason, and I?
Well, the thing about you is you constantly cut me off when I talk, so I can't give one to you. And maybe I'll get one for Jason. Yeah. No, okay, Jesse, I'm just Josh with you. And I'll get one for Jason next year. How's that?
That sounds fair.
All right, thanks for the call, Jeff. We appreciate it. Have a good day.
That's good.
Jeff, what do you got today?
Okay, so, in terms of LaFleur as a coach, I've been less concerned the second half of the year about his inability to out-scheme people. I think he's actually been more aggressive and showed more trust in his quarterback, which I think has really been a big plus for him. So I know, Jason, you talked about that. My biggest concern for him as a leader, and Tausch, I'd like to ask you as a player who's played, and then Jason as somebody who's covered the team for so long, his teams, this is what I've seen, and this is my biggest concern in the playoffs because the games are close. They seem to fold at the moment of truth. They, throughout the season, you look at Denver, you look at Chicago, they had those games, they had a lead, and they can't put people away. And I don't know if that's a team that's lacking confidence. I don't know what it is, but in the moment of truth, they seem to fold. And I don't know how you get over that, but I feel like my question is Matt LaFleur as a leader doing what it takes to instill confidence into his team? I know he's really good about work ethic, and I know he's really good about character, but this is the biggest recurring pattern, and I don't know if you guys noticed, the biggest recurring pattern of this team is in close games they fold, or they're in games that they're in control of, they can't seem to put people away, and it's kind of it leads to the same thing. It leads to them losing games they should win. So that's my first question. Is that something that's my concern about him as a coach, or that's my concern about this team? What are your thoughts on that?
Okay, so a couple of things there. Not putting teams away, I think, is very, very fair. They had opportunities to do that numerous times this season. You can look at Cleveland. You can look at a lot of games that they lost and that they won. As far as the Micah Parsons effect of this, one of the things, the big reasons I was so gung-ho to get him is that he does close out games, and he did do that, if you remember, Arizona. Think about Arizona. That game was easily losable. And a game that we should not have been, but he did close up shop. He did some great things against Detroit. The first time around, that was, there was some, that part of the game I thought was coming around, the closing up on defense. My biggest criticism of Matt LaFleur throughout all of his years has been that he gets too emotional with challenges. He doesn't stay steady. Now, you could say you want to have passion, and I do. There's times I like a bad call, and he wants to flip out. Doesn't mean you throw a challenge flag. But that was always – and I thought this year, sans a couple of moves late here, I think he's been a lot better. I think he's gotten himself where he's not at the whim of his emotions doing things. And I give him a ton of credit. I think he has matured in that factor. But it all comes back to – are his football teams prepared to make the right plays at the right time? And I think that is a fair question, especially when you look at some special teams miscues and then some defensive things that they do. I think the Matt LaFleur referendum, Saturday night is a big game for Matt LaFleur. I think just from an overall believing in what his vision is, he has been a very good football coach for the Green Bay Packers. He hasn't been that next level. He's been a great regular season coach. I'd make an argument he's probably been below average in the postseason. And when you're the head football coach for the Green Bay Packers, the regular season is what this is what you expect. Postseason football, you're expected to win Super Bowls and chase championships every year. That has not been the case. They've had opportunities that they should have, could have, would have, but didn't. And now you just get the feeling that I think fans are looking at this and the expectation. The reason I brought this up and why I thought Dan and Abe brought up a good point, I don't want our expectations to change. That's the beauty of being in Green Bay. And when your expectations start changing, now granted, this is a goofier year because of the catastrophic injuries, sports catastrophic injuries to studs, irreplaceables. That's the only reason that I'm a little bit on the fence about the changing of the expectations. But I just don't want us to ever get to a point where we're content being a 7th seed and getting beat in the first or second round. I don't think that is not. I know that's not where Goody, and I know that's not where Matt LaFleur want everybody's expectations to be.
Jeff, thanks for the call. We appreciate it. 844-770-3776. Let's get one more call in. Let's go to Mo in Illinois. Mo, good morning.
Uh-oh.
Why are you
Mo's at?
Morning.
No, I mean, he's in Illinois.
You hear me?
I know he's a Packer fan, but he likes to spike things up down there in Chicago, too.
Mo, good morning. How you doing?
I'm doing well. This is the matchup I was looking for. I was fired up yesterday that the Commanders saved us because I wanted nothing to do with Philly. This game is personal. It's been personal all year, but this one's even more personal. If we remember in Chicago, Romeo Doubs gifted them that game by having some Butterfingers. And now it's time to get our get back. They disrespected us. Ben Johnson, I thought it was impossible to dislike him anymore. But yesterday he made a comment yet again saying that something in the lines of we play our starters. We don't rest starters around here. Pretty much taking a shot at LaFleur and the Packers. So this guy has us, rent-free in his head. And, if we recall, DJ Moore, Caleb Williams, they were all wearing those cheese graters after the game, acting like they won the Super Bowl, even though we've been their daddy for years and dominated them. So I'm looking forward to this matchup. I think we're going to win. I think we're going to go down to Chicago, kick their butts. I think we're actually going to win by at least 10 points. And then I think we're going to head to Seattle with some momentum. And anything could happen. I feel really good about this game. I feel very, very confident, and I think that they could also beat Seattle because once you get one, it's like a domino effect, baby, and we're rolling right into the playoffs. And I can't wait to knock those suckers out of the playoffs.
Nice. Most fired up.
Just want to make sure he said suckers.
With an S.
Make sure
yes,
for
suckers.
Sack. It was
like
S.
Sack. Like dum-dums.
Sack.
Yeah.
Sack lunch.
Thanks for the call, Mo.
I'm not going to disagree. I'm in the same boat as Mo as far as thank you, Commanders. I really think that was going to be tough sledding going into Philly.
Agreed.
Even though I don't think their offense is anything special, I think we would have struggled with their corners and with their pass rush. I would have been, especially with the layoff.
Mm-hmm.
It just I don't like it. I would not have liked that matchup.
Mm-hmm.
I love this matchup, and I think I think most of us as Packer fans feel that same way that Mo just did. I almost feel like we're looking ahead, which sounds crazy.
It does feel that way, yes.
That's just us.
Yeah, the team is not.
And that's what the team is definitely not looking ahead. But I promise you this, they're not looking at what they could have happen. You plot this thing out, I'm telling you, man, you sit in that training room, and I don't know if they still have the old school playoff thing up on the board, but you'd look at it and you'd say, oh, well, if we get this one, now we head to Seattle. And we get that one. Oh, boy. And as you win, everybody's belief level ratchets up, including fans. So we'll see.
So because of your experience, because you went to the playoffs, you played 10 years, at least I played 11 years. You played the playoffs at least 8, I think.
I think we missed 2 or 3 times,
yeah. Yeah. How confident do you think these guys are because of the opponent they drew? Like, I agree with you wholeheartedly on, look, there's a lot of demons in Philly, including last year's performance. Now, they could have been motivated too and said, hey, that wasn't us. We can't play that way. We didn't give ourselves a chance last year, all that kind of stuff if they had gotten Philly. But I would say that this feels like exactly what they wanted to. They're not going to say that. There were a bunch of reporters asking, hey, who would you rather have, Philly or Chicago? And they all said, we want to play both of them. They both beat us. Like, they all said the right thing. But if you put yourself on this team, from a confidence perspective and from a get-back perspective, this is what you would have wanted. You just wouldn't have said it publicly. Correct?
No doubt. If we're just sitting around in a hot tub and we're all just jabbering, we would all say, you know what, man, we gave the Bears that game. We know we're better than them. Mm-hmm. The film would show you that we're better than them. Mm-hmm. Now you got to go out and do it, but there is not a doubt in my mind, especially as an O-line. I think you look at going against Philly's D-line compared to Chicago's D-line, not even close. And I'm sure Jordan Love is looking at it saying, I like these matchups a little bit better than Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean and all. I think they're down some guys. There is no doubt offensively you're looking at this and saying, yeah, we got some things that we can hang our hat on that can do some, Malik Willis torched that Bears defense. Like, they moved the ball all day up and down the field. Now, they didn't get touchdowns, and that's why you get beat. But there is not a doubt in my mind, if you polled that team anonymously, it would come in high 80s, low 90s. We want the Bears.
Well, that is what they've got on Saturday night at Soldier Field. All right, we'll get to a couple of your texts from the Carbless Talking text line. There's also a lot of YouTube comments. The conversation has been robust in there today. And then at the top of the 11 o'clock hour, we will hear from Ben Johnson, the remarks that we mentioned earlier and that Mo mentioned. This guy's something else now, man. This guy's something else. We'll hear from him as well. More Will Did Tao straight ahead. Stick around.
We run the Packers.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. All the antics.
Why the hell are we still doing Encores? I go to the Killers, and they leave the stat. Oh, thank you, good night. Oh, I can't believe they didn't play Mr. Brightside.
All the action.
Losing somebody like Micah Parsons, everybody on the defense was better because of Micah Parsons, and you lose a guy like that, it's hard to stomach.
The best of both worlds lives right here. Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Weekday mornings from 7 to 9 on 94.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Ben Brust here, and let's cut the crap. I've been sold the lie with sportswear too. You pay a fortune for big name gear, a fancy logo, and a slogan, and it still stinks. Then I found Iron Jock, and now it's all I wear. It's built on science. Their silver ion technology is woven right into the fabric. It kills 99.9% of odor-causing bacteria, and it never washes out, ever. Get yours today at ironjock.com. That's ironjoc.com.
My husband's an animal in bed.
Well, you know.
Not in the fun way. Think warthog. With a chainsaw.
Snoring and sleep apnea affect over 90 million people, and 1 out of 4 couples sleep in separate rooms. Advent can help. We've been Milwaukee's one-stop solution for nasal congestion, snoring, and sleep apnea for over 20 years. Unlike many other practices, we focus exclusively on these conditions, so you get comprehensive care under one roof. Advent's unique approach can help you breathe and sleep better, and many avoid a CPAP. Plus, most insurance is accepted for our effective 20-minute in-office treatments.
Hey, the only animal you want in your bed is your dog.
Advent. Sleep better. Sleep together. Learn how you can improve your life at adventknows.com.
Let's get the latest from Lambeau. This is your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee. Why Z-Bart? Because you don't want rust holes in your expensive vehicle. Let Z-Bart keep the rust away with professional rust protection. Only at Z-Bart.
The Packers closed the regular season with a 16-3 loss to the Vikings while resting most of their starters. Quarterback Clayton Tune was sacked 4 times, and punter Daniel Whelan logged 8 punts for 431 yards, the 5th most in team history. Here's head coach Matt LaFleur after the game.
I think our guys are excited. They're excited for the challenge. They're excited for the opportunity, and that's how we're going to attack it, and that's our mindset, because right now, when you get to the postseason, everybody's 0-0. It's a clean slate, so we have an opportunity, and that's all you can ask for.
The Packers finished the season at 9-7-1 and will now head to Chicago to take on the Bears in the first round of the playoffs.
This has been your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee.
Do you want your car to shine like a diamond? Then you need Z-Gloss from Z-Bart. Z-Gloss gives you a mirror finish and protects your paint from everything Mother Nature can throw at it with a 10-year guarantee. Visit zbart.com for more information.
For 75 years, the Muscular Dystrophy Association's voices have thundered through the halls of Congress.
For 75 years, we've willed the impossible into existence.
For 75 years, the MDA community has pushed the science,
shifted the narrative, and established the field of neuromuscular medicine.
And until that day, when this is all a thing of the past,
you couldn't stop us if you tried.
Join us and celebrate 75 years of breakthroughs at MDA75.org.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Customizable just for you. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today. You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
We'll hear from Ben Johnson shortly, but before that, Jesse, what do you have on the text portion of the Carbless Talk and Text line.
I just got a really interesting one here from Cody in Pittsburgh, so I'm stalling for a second.
Because you can't find it now.
No, because I'm going to put it up here on the screen for you. I had another one.
Remind me, is Cody Jana's husband?
I'll have to go check our Christmas card. I think Cody is the one with Jana. Yes, I think that's the one.
Okay.
We're big in Pittsburgh. It's hard to keep track.
So it's a long text, but it's an interesting one here. Make it to Seattle or not, I'll always be disappointed in this organization. Our expectations in Green Bay have changed. Tausch said we haven't adjusted our expectations, but with no one on the hook for 3 straight 7-seed appearances and a disappointing roster mostly due to poor draft classes, it's hard to not think that expectations at 1265 Lombardi Ave have changed. I'd rather not call Green Bay Titletown until this organization can show me they're serious about winning.
So here's what I would say to Cody. I agree with the basic sentiment of what you're saying, but to say we're not serious about winning is that's not fair, and that's not true, because Goody saw something at the end of August and went and pounced, and it is a bold, big, correct move, and he got hurt. That's football. Tucker Kraft got hurt. So if both of those guys were healthy and you had your stars, Jordan, him, McKinney, you had that crew, even if just one of them were out, outside of Micah and Jordan, I would say, hey, this is the NFL, boys. You got to have depth. You have to have guys that can replace, and you can go do it. But just, again, going back to why I thought Danny and Abe's points were so interesting is they have been the hardest on Matt LaFleur and the Packers organization. Not doing enough. Oh, we're not chasing champion. We're not doing this. Rodgers should be winning championships. And when they said that, they have been the staunchest. Why aren't we pushing all in? Why aren't we doing this? Mm-hmm. And they've now come to the terms of, well, let's just beat the Bears and have a good season, then reboot for next year. I'm torn on the fact, if Micah Parsons was healthy, 100% agree with Cody. But he's not. And that is a monster blow to your team. And it's easy to say, well, next man up. It's also not fair. And that's why I am as torn. I don't want us to lower expectations. And in an NFC that I think is still very open, as long as we don't have to play the Los Angeles Rams or the Philadelphia Eagles, I don't see a reason why we can't get it done. And in the same breath, I'm going to say I don't see a reason why the Bears can't beat us, and I don't see a reason why the Seahawks can't beat us. And if we had Micah, and obviously if we had Tucker, I would say, no, this needs to happen. This is that urgency we're talking about. But it's not fair from my perch to sit here and tell you, you need to win. I don't care who's out. Well, that's not the reality of sports. And that's why I'm kind of right on that line trying to figure out how do you keep the high expectations in a year where things are open, but also understanding you are not a whole football team. You're not. And what is the calculus? Those are two huge pieces to any equation. And it's not fair just to say, tough luck, do it. Now, if you can, well, baby, what a deal. But if you can't, that isn't an excuse. It's reality.
Sound graph. So the Packers face the Bears on Saturday night. If they win, they get Seattle. The other teams that are in the bracket, the Rams, the Panthers, the 49ers, and the Eagles. So your concern, rank the other teams, including Seattle, rank the other 5 teams of the teams you don't want to, that you least want to play to the teams you most want to play in the next round.
For me, I would most want to play Carolina, then the Bears. Then I would probably say Seattle, and then I'd probably say Philly, San
49
Francisco, and then the
49.
Rams.
Okay,
Rams
so the
will be
Rams.
the last team I want to face.
Okay, I think I am in agreement. I might flip-flop the 49ers and the Eagles. The 49, look, A, they've had Matt LaFleur's number. B,
We got PTSD with the
yes,
Niners, man.
Exactly. And look, I understand that they went 12-5 with a lot of injuries. That's the first thing. I've got all kinds of comments in the YouTube comments saying exactly that. I get it. I would still maintain, and I understand Bosa is a great player. They were without their quarterback for a good chunk of the season. If the Packers had played without Jordan Love for a chunk of the season the way the 49ers did without Brock Purdy, I think we've seen that Malik Willis would have probably done a similar job to what Mac Jones did for them. But the Parsons injury, not only is he a great player, but the acquisition of him was such an enormous thing for this team that I think it increases the pain of him being lost. Because everything, I mean, think about not just us on August 28th, but think about everyone in that building. Like, let's be honest, there was a lot of people that were like, oh my God, I can't believe Goody did this. And that's inside and outside of the building. So losing him, you know, when we're talking about playing Enter Sandman and how many games he closed out before his injury, I do think that compounds just how painful that loss is. It's painful regardless.
Yep.
But because of how he changed their mentality and culture, they could say all they wanted coming out of training camp that they thought they had a Super Bowl team, and maybe they did. But they became true believers in that possibility when they acquired Micah Parsons.
The organization set, and you said this, urgency, and then they pick up, you know, they try to get their O-line better. I don't know if you could say that they did or didn't. That's a debate that we could have. But when you go out and do what Goody did, that isn't some guys, you know, splashing a couple chips. That is moving every blanket chip you got, slamming it in the middle of the pot, saying nothing but a championship is what we're expecting.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, that guy that you pushed into the middle of that table is not available to play. And to act as if that's, not fair or whatever it is, the reality is he's not going to be out there. I still think this defense is good enough to win playoff games.
Mm-hmm.
And I think
agree.
the offense has adjusted without Tucker, and that's where the lack of a great team in the NFC gives me belief. If there was, I would, because this is not a great Packer team. They've proven that. 9-7-1 ain't great. They've been inconsistent a vast majority of the year. They haven't been able to put a full offense, defense, special teams game together. Again, I don't know. What is the highlight of this season so far? What is the one shining moment before the playoffs? What are we one shining moment in with this team? Micah chasing down Goff in week 1?
Here are the games that they won this season. Lions and Commanders, then they tied the Cowboys. Cincinnati, Arizona, Pittsburgh might be the high water mark.
That was a good one.
That was a good win.
Okay.
And then they had the 4-game winning streak.
Terrible first half of offense by us, if my memory serves me.
And then Jordan completes 20 passes in a row. And then it's the Giants, the Vikings, the Thanksgiving win over the Lions, which I think is a very good win as well.
That was pretty good.
Yeah. And then the win over the Bears at Lambeau Field. So they do have some quality wins.
What is the moment you're going to remember? Okay, what is the moment you're remembering from this season? Because I believe last year, I don't know if we had one.
No.
What is the moment?
One. I think it's more challenging.
9-7-1 team.
I think it's more challenging this year with 2 fewer wins. I think there's more options than last year when it was clearly there was no real highlight.
I'm going to vote Micah chasing down Goff because that was the sign.
Sack.
Look at where we're going.
Yeah.
That's my moment for the year. Maybe maybe there's something better that I'm missing. That's mine.
I think the Thanksgiving win was a really quality win, right?
Totally agree. What was the moment from it?
Going for it on fourth down to clinch it.
Close it up?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, and 2 fourth-down touchdowns too, right? Or 2 fourth-down touchdowns. And the clinch, like Matt LaFleur, I believe there was a great American orator who said this on the post-game show, Matt LaFleur, and it was because both of us said it independently of each other. Matt LaFleur out Dan Campbell that day. And you never thought that was in Matt LaFleur. And that day he did, and it worked. And so that's up there too. I would say your line about Micah Parsons is one. I think beating Aaron Rodgers on the road certainly qualifies. They were great offensively. They scored on like 5 straight possessions in the second half of that game. Micah, that was a game that they actually got something out of Rashawn Gary. He had 2 sacks of Aaron Rodgers in that game. So last time he had one. And I think the Lions win on Thanksgiving, and I think beating the Bears at home was a really good moment too. Should have been 2 of those moments. Should have beaten them in Chicago as well. All right, we need to get to what our guy, Ben Johnson, had to say. By the way, Ben Sims, Chipotle Ben, didn't get to see him yesterday. Saw him on the field, didn't get to talk to him, but it's great to see him catch a pass for the Vikings. Ben Johnson kicks off the 11 o'clock hour. He'll do that in 2 minutes, so stick around.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Monica, we've got to hand it to you.
You and the design team have outdone yourselves.
Are you talking about the One collection?
Those rings say you are the one.
And they say it symbolically.
Describe the symbols.
Every ring in the One collection should be presented with a special ritual.
What would that ritual be?
You pick up her left hand and you place a kiss on her ring finger.
Rick, you never told me about that part.
Then you show her the tiny red diamond, flush mounted inside the ring, that will forever be in contact with her finger.
Why is it red?
Because that's when the giver says to the one, wherever you go, my heart goes with you.
I give you this kiss. I give you my heart.
The red diamond is a secret symbol of that sacred moment.
The center diamond on the outside of the ring is for the whole world to see.
But the tiny red created diamond inside the ring is only for the 2 of them.
The One collection of engagement rings is available exclusively at Kessler's.
To find the Kesslers nearest you,
visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
With your Saganiac Plenty Marquette recap, I'm Will Summers. Marquette's struggles continued with a 73-57 loss at number 4 Connecticut on Sunday afternoon. The Golden Eagles shot 11 for 34 in the first half and 2 for 11 from 3, but still trailed by just 9 at halftime.
Down 7, Ross all the way to the basket with the right hand, missed the layup, but Clark is there for the easy stuff follow.
UConn would eventually break the game open early in the second half, stretching the lead to as many as 23 points. The Golden Eagles will now look to get their first Big East win as they get back to Pfizer Forum on Wednesday to battle Xavier.
Medicare won't cover everything. That's why you should consider a Medicare supplement. WPS Medicare Supplement Insurance helps reduce those out-of-pocket costs when you need medical care. And it's guaranteed renewable for life as long as premiums are paid. Call Saganiac Planning today, 262-783-6161. Ask about WPS Medicare Supplement Insurance. The intent of this advertisement is solicitation of insurance. Contact may be made by the insurer or a licensed agent. Neither Wisconsin Physician Service Insurance Corporation nor its agents or products are connected with the federal Medicare program.
Hey, this is Gabe Neitzel. You're listening to 94.5 ESPN, WKTI and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
I'm not giving up, no, not yet. Even when I'm down to my last breath. Even when they say there's nothing left. So don't give up on. I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up, no, not me.
The 11 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch begins now. A rare Monday where we talked very little about the actual game that was played, in which the Packers lose to the Minnesota Vikings 16-3. But they didn't get shut out. Clayton Tune, 6 of 11. The Packers finished with a net -7 passing yards. Their run numbers would actually have been pretty good had Emmanuel Wilson not had a 19 or 18-yard loss on one run.
Yeah.
That wasn't good either. But the Packers lose, but that was not what was most important to Matt LaFleur yesterday. It was avoiding what happened in the regular season finale a year earlier, a game that, by the way, they took the lead in in the final seconds, only to give it up with a field goal by the Bears to win it. But he did not want to see anyone leaving on a cart like he did with Christian Watson a year ago. We will see if that approach turns out to be right, because they will take on the Bears on Saturday night on Amazon Prime from Soldier Field, a 7 p.m. Central Time kickoff. Now, Ben Johnson played his guys yesterday because he had something to play for. He ended up getting it anyway, the number 2 seed in the NFC. But his guys lost to a team that was eliminated from playoff contention. The Detroit Lions, much like they did in 2022 to Aaron Rodgers and Matt LaFleur and company, went into a division rival's house with a team that had something to play for and beat them. And yet, that didn't stop Ben Johnson from taking a shot at Matt LaFleur for resting his guys and playing it safe. Here, from the, I'm guessing the Bears website.
It is ChicagoBears.com, which I had to look up because Bears.com is a website about bears.
It makes sense. What kind of bears are on the Bears.com?
Grizzlies.
Hey, boo-boo.
Okay.
Polar.
Here is Ben Johnson.
Polar bears will come at you now. Polar bears hunt humans, which I don't know if you know. Grizzlies do too. Black bears, not necessarily. Brown bears, cute little guys. Obviously, you don't want to mess with
koala bears,
either.
Pandas,
sleepers, big sleepers. Koala bears, 22 hours of sleep a day.
Koala bears, your Steinhoffel sleepers of the week.
Nice.
Let's hear from Ben Johnson from yesterday after the Bears lost to a team with nothing to play for.
We're quickly turning the page here. Everyone's disappointed. I appreciate, like I said, their effort. Some teams, they rest their starters. We don't. We play football, and, we felt like it was really important that we were playing our best ball here today, and we didn't get that job done. And so we're quickly turning that page, and now we got a home game coming on up, and there's a way to win this next game, and that's what we're going to be solely focused on.
We believe in playing our starters and playing our best ball. And, oh, by the way, we didn't get that done.
Yeah, he's being honest.
I always appreciate honesty. What do you make of that? What is his bugaboo about the Packers head coach?
Well, I think he understands the magnitude of when you take that job, and with the success the Packers have had over the years, this is going to be a big part of your legacy, is whether you could beat the big bad Green Bay Packers. So I think there's maybe a subtle dig there. I don't necessarily know if it's all aimed just at the Packers. Obviously, you could take it that way. But I think he's looking at it like he's got the Dan Campbell in him where we're going to compete every time we go out and play. And by the way, Dan Campbell maybe needs to reevaluate that because he can't keep his team healthy.
You're right.
His secondary is beat up every year. He didn't have a D-line. He didn't have linebackers last year. His O-line is all retiring because they're beat to shreds. So at some point, maybe you have to – everybody wants tough, physical, drag them out to the deep sea and drown them. That's all cute, great stuff. But if you don't have guys to go do it, you're going to end up drowning yourself. And that's what happened to Detroit the last 2 seasons. So all that word stuff and all that's cute. 17 and going to be 18 games, it is a war of attrition, man. And there's times you can put the guns and you can put the knives and you can put everything down and say, you know what? Let's go grab a meal and let's get rejuiced up and go back out for a bigger battle that's ahead. That's what some teams have done. I think the Green Bay Packers yesterday put down all their weapons and said, all right, it's a battle. We'd love to win. We want that border. We don't like giving up that border, but we see a bigger border battle ahead that can lead us to even more. Annex into UP, whatever you want to talk about doing. That's where the Green Bay Packers led yesterday, and so old Benny Johnson can say everything he wants. All of it is just wordplay. And by the way, everything he did, his team wasn't bought in to his methodology yesterday through 3 quarters. Because I watched that game, it looked flat. Their offense looked inept. And by the way, they weren't playing the Seahawks. They weren't playing juggernauts. They're playing a defense that doesn't have anybody in the secondary left.
Mm-hmm.
And it couldn't move the football. So, hey, you do you. I give him a ton of credit. His culture that he's built in Chicago has been, I think it's good. Obviously, they have had a lot of success. And, hey, their wide receiving corps is beat up. I don't know how many guys they got out and injured. Green Bay's got guys too. And it'll be interesting to see because this will be the most highly charged of all the matchups that they have and who's going to be better and who can actually go and execute what their coach wants. He seems very confident that he feels he can do that, and I'm sure Matt LaFleur feels the same way.
Jesse, you would agree he's clearly talking about the Packers there.
Sounded like it to me.
Yeah, come on.
Well, you got Packer ears on, too. I agree, but I think it's because we're looking at it from that perspective. I think he could also say Philadelphia didn't, right?
He could, but he's not.
Okay, you're probably right. Smug.
But he's entitled to.
Chargers? Could we talk about the Chargers?
No, he was smug. He's
smug too.
For a guy who lost yesterday, he was pretty smug, I thought. Quite smug, in fact. But again, that seems to be his brand. God bless him. We'll see what happens. He could be Smuggy
What's
McGee.
LaFleur's brand? What's LaFleur's brand?
Eyebrows.
I'd rather be smug, if I'm being honest.
I'll tell you what. There are a lot of Packers fans that his appearance clearly triggers them to dislike him even more than anything about his track record or success or failures. There is something about that really bothers a segment of the fan base, which is fine. You can feel however you want to feel about him.
Do people like the look of a Mike McCarthy more than a Matt LaFleur?
Heavier set fella? Yeah, I think so.
Is it because he's more relatable, or
yes.
What is the?
I think so.
Is that right?
So. I think so. I mean, there's that picture of a group of beat writers, myself not included, where LaFleur's, drinking a glass of wine when everybody's drinking beer and whatever else. And I don't think it's fair. I don't agree with it. He's a handsome guy. God bless him. I'm happy for him. I'm not as handsome as he is. Very few of us are. But I don't think that should be in the equation of whether you think he's a good football coach or not. Speaking of handsome guys.
Hot.
That's a classic.
If you are only listening to the audio version
By the way,
of the program.
You guys, for everybody that's thinking, when is Tausch going to declare, as you put up that picture of Matt LePay, who I saw at the Kohl Center Saturday night, I don't think I'm going to be making any declarations this year.
Aw, what?
It could change.
Yes.
It could change.
It's usually about January 31st you give it to us.
Final four berth confirmed now because Tausch won't proclaim it.
God, I
increases
hope so.
their chances considerably.
I hope that's what happens.
Yeah, there's some inconsistency there with your Wisconsin men's basketball team. That is faux show. All right, Jesse, I'm a little bit thrown by this. We're going to play trivia on a Monday?
Yes,
we won't have to play catch-up?
No. Playing on a Monday. Wildy and Tausch trivia.
What category is it for Cousin Subs and Iron Jock Wildy and Tausch trivia? And what caller would you like? Because Tausch does not get to pick the caller for trivia.
I'm glad we're playing because it was a busy sports weekend for us to recap. So it is the sports weekend recap for the first time in 2026. There are 14 teams who made the NFL playoffs. Caller 14. How about that?
I like it. 844-770-3776. 844-770-3776. Caller 14 plays trivia with us. Presented by Iron Jock and Cousin Subs. Next, it's Wildy and Tausch.
Wildy and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. And sponsored by American Family Insurance. It doesn't matter if it's your first betting slip ever or just the first one of the week. We've got your Potawatomi sportsbook picks covered. Tune in Wednesdays to the Weekly Wager with Josh DiMaggio and Ben Brust.
Breezy Ben Brust, just whichever way the wind's blowing. I have bad posture. I don't have a great backbone, Joshy.
The Weekly Wager, Wednesday nights at 6, right here on 94.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube channel.
From office lunches to family celebrations, Cousin Subs has the crowd-pleasing catering you need. Choose from customizable party boxes, individual box lunches, fresh-baked cookies, and our classic party chips. Everything you need to satisfy any size group, big or small. Ordering is easy online or on the Cousins app, so you can focus on the fun, not the food. Cousin Subs, we believe in better.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
According to American writer H.L. Mencken, a well-stocked bar can create over 17 billion different cocktails. Hi, this is Marie from Discount Liquor. I don't know if 17 billion is accurate or not, but I do know that Discount Liquor is the place to find everything you need to be well-stocked for any occasion. Discount Liquor is Wisconsin's home to over 2,000 varieties of beer, 3,500 types of liquor, and over 8,000 wines. Our unparalleled selection is rivaled only by our incredible savings and everyday low prices. And we know how to take care of our customers, no matter the occasion. In fact, Discount Liquor has won numerous national and local awards. Visit Discount Liquor at our Milwaukee or Waukesha locations. Family owned and operated since 1960.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
In Milwaukee on 51st in Oklahoma, and in downtown Waukesha on Main and Barstow. Check out our specials at discountliquorinc.com.
Without an Advent clinic nearby, people suffering needlessly from chronic nasal congestion and sinus infections would be stuck with either Band-Aid or sledgehammer solutions. Band-Aids are pills or nasal sprays, and they're not true solutions. Surgery is a sledgehammer, and that's what we're trying to avoid. Because most people don't need surgery for nose and sinus issues, nor do they want a 14-day recovery. Our unique Advent approach can, in 20 minutes in our office, open your blocked nose for good, with only 1-day recovery. I'm Advent founder Dr. Kandula. Outside of Advent's 4 walls, invasive surgery is what they'll recommend. But here, you will find effective and convenient in-office solutions to help you stop the need for Band-Aids and avoid the sledgehammer.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Most insurance accepted.
Buying a new roof might not be the most exciting thing you'll do this year, but for us at Big Fish Contracting, being chosen to do that roof for you not only provides income for multiple families in southeastern Wisconsin, but has a global reach and impact around the world. To us, it's more than just a roof. We've been earning trust for over 2 decades, roofing, siding, windows, and more. Go to bigfishcontracting.com to learn how Big Fish is renovating homes and redeeming an industry.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
It's a rarity. It's a Monday. And we're playing trivia. Time now for Wilde and Tausch trivia presented by Iron Jock and Cousin Subs.
Wilde and Tausch Trivia is brought to you by Cousin Subs. Cousin Subs $10 deal meal gives you a 7.5-inch sub, bag of chips or regular fries, fountain drink, and a cookie, all for just $10. This deal is only available online or through the Cousins app. And Iron Jock, performance apparel that actually performs. No stink, just performance. And proudly Wisconsin built. Shop now at ironjock.com.
It is time for trivia. Let's welcome in our contestants. Oh, he's one of the GOATs. And he doesn't take off. Well, I mean, I guess he does now because he's retired. But he certainly does not take off during crunch time in April, given his very successful accounting business. It is Jeff and Monroe. Jeff, good morning. How are you today?
Good morning. I'm doing well. Wishing you guys a great 2026, and thanks for a great year of shows in 2025.
Thank you. We appreciate your appreciation. So when do accountants go on vacation before we start?
After April 15th.
So literally April 16th?
Thank you, Jeff.
You go? Because what about people that got extensions?
Well, extensions go to October.
Yeah. Unless it's a corporation, then it's September. So
good to know.
Probably June, July, kind of a slow time, yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, that is your accountant's minutes on Wilde and Tausch.
All I'm saying.
Why did we ask
all
that?
All I'm saying is.
It must have been one of the shows you missed, Jesse.
Yeah, Jesse missed a bunch of shows. Is when you're called upon. What are you shaking your head about?
I'm just trying to think back to all the shows I missed, and I can't think of one during the holidays.
Well,
It wasn't about the holidays. We were talking about vacations, and Tausch used accountants as an example.
Yeah.
All right, let's play trivia.
Let's just move it along.
We're done here. Jesse, come on. That was not... all right, here we go. Jeff, question number one. Jesse, if you don't know what happens on the show when you're gone, that's fine. But, you know, that question there was out of line. Everyone, all the other three of us all knew that was a reference to a previous show in which we discussed vacation for accountants. And this is the first time Jeff's been on since. Jeff, question number one is this, good sir. The Carolina Panthers are in the playoffs thanks to which team winning on Sunday to force a three-way tie with 8-9 records atop the NFC South? Was it the Atlanta Falcons, the New Orleans Saints, or if this was college football, they'd change the playoff format for next year because of this?
Ha!
Atlanta Falcons.
Indeed, that was weird, right? I mean, that was the Panthers win and they're in, they lose, and then they get in anyway, even though they lost to one of the teams that were part of that equation. Obviously, three-way ties make things interesting, to say the least. All right, question number two, Jeff, is this. The Packers were one of three teams to only score 3 points in their Week 18 finales. Which of these teams is not one of the other two teams that scored 3 points this week? Did you get all that?
I follow.
Okay, pretty convoluted question, if you ask me. Was one of the teams that didn't score 3 points in their Week 18 finale the New York Jets, the Los Angeles Chargers, or the San Francisco 49ers?
'49ers. That's right.
The San Francisco 49ers lost to the Seattle Seahawks 13-3. The Los Angeles Chargers lost to the Denver Broncos 19-3. The New York Jets lost to the Buffalo Bills 35-8.
With Josh Allen not playing.
I was listening Friday, and Tausch's big bet for McCaffrey for MVP. I'm not going to say where I placed this bet, but after his performance in that game, I had forgot about how bad that was. I'm figuring I'm not going to get my 200 times or whatever it was.
But it was worth it, Jeff. It was worth the risk, I felt. He has a big game.
I do, too.
I think I'm telling you, that needle moves. But I was wrong.
Right.
It was worth a flyer. It was worth a flyer.
Well,
all right, and Jeff, I also didn't. I'm also not expecting to cash that either.
On worse things.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Amen.
All right, let's bounce back. Question 3, Jeff, is this. A UW school won a football national championship. UW River Falls won the first Division III football national championship in program history on Sunday night by defeating which Division III powerhouse in Canton, Ohio? That's where they play the Amos Alonzo Stag Bowl now. I covered a couple of those, but I think they were in like Virginia somewhere.
It was in Virginia
Salem,
for a while.
Virginia.
Yeah, they were in
That's
Virginia
the
for a
second Salem
while.
reference today.
They've moved around. Now they are in Canton, Ohio at the Hall of Fame Stadium.
All right, here you go, Jeff. Which team did UW River Falls beat to win the Division III state or Division III national championship? Did they beat Mary Hardin Baylor, North Central College, or Mount Union?
Well, you said powerhouse, and Mount Union's the only one that I can think of that's a powerhouse. So I'll say Mount Union.
That's very tricky. They were a powerhouse. They have been a powerhouse.
NIL got him.
The national powerhouse.
Mount Union's the SEC of Division III football. The NIL got him.
It just means more. Yeah, it just means more. Jesse chose the word powerhouse. I don't know. What is North Central College's track record? Because that is the correct
I think they won the last 2.
Yeah, they've won multiple national titles in a row. It was billed as a David versus Goliath. River Falls hadn't been to the playoffs in 29 years. North Central had won a couple of national titles, and they've been in it like every year for a handful of years now.
But they're running that. They run this like crazy offense, right?
River Falls
revolutionary offense, and it worked. And one of my
Their quarterback's a stud. Their quarterback, what's his name, Jess?
Caleb Blaha, more single-season total yards than Joe Burrow. NCAA record set last night.
I'd love to have a quarterback that we could be announcing Blaha. How fun would that be? What a play by Blaha!
Maybe he should enter the portal. We'll have to wait and see.
I think he's out of eligibility.
You say what you want. We're going Portal City, USA over here now. It is Portal City, USA.
Indeed. You are exactly right. Jeff, the bad news for you, my friend, is you only got one right, which is not usually the case with you. Luckily, this is not part of our Tournament of Champions, which we have yet to seed, schedule, or plan. But you'll be in it. You got 2 entries into Friday's drawing, buddy. We appreciate you.
Poor effort on my part. So, well,
I agree.
You guys going to be down at Rock? Yes. You guys going to be at Hard Rock again? I'm going to have to make a trip down there if you are.
I would
sure hope to be.
love that to be the case. Yes, indeed.
We got to play some new bets.
Some of them UU noodles.
We don't have any other bets to cash anymore, so we got to go play some new ones.
Yeah, we don't have to drive down to cash anything.
Unbelievable.
I think Dolly Parton's coming. We're going to all go down there when she comes.
We'll do a ceremonial burial for our bets tomorrow when you're back here in the studio, Old T. That seems appropriate tomorrow.
All right, that is Wilde and Tausch Trivia presented by Cousin Subs and by Iron Jock. Whoa, Nelly. We have time for that today, too? Wow. That's what happens when you don't play to win the game. That's next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Something exciting is happening at St. Kate the Arts Hotel. On the second floor, you'll find the Studio Kitchen and Cocktails, Milwaukee's destination for bold flavors, fresh sushi, seasonal entrees, and cocktails crafted with care. Start your day with a breakfast that fuels you, stop in for dinner that sparks conversation, or linger late into the evening with drinks designed to inspire. With flavors and drinks for every mood, the Studio is the perfect place to gather, celebrate, and connect. Be boldly social. The Studio Kitchen and Cocktails, now on the second floor at St. Kate the Arts Hotel.
Mark Tauscher here for Iron Jock. As a former athlete, I've worn just about every type of workout gear there is, and nothing compares to Iron Jock. Their performance apparel is built to fight sweat, odor, and bacteria, keeping you feeling fresh no matter how hard you push. From the gym to the pickleball court, Iron Jock keeps you dry, comfortable, and confident. Upgrade to Iron Jock. Available now at ironjock.com.
Hey Tom, I want a new hoop for the kids. Any ideas?
Yeah, I got mine from Precision Sports over 10 years ago. They helped me choose the right hoop, installed it, and even painted my court lines.
Nice. How do I reach them?
Easy. PrecisionSportsOnline.com for a free quote.
With your Saganiac Plenty Marquette recap, I'm Will Summers. Marquette's struggles continued with a 73-57 loss at number 4 Connecticut on Sunday afternoon. The Golden Eagles shot 11 for 34 in the first half and 2 for 11 from 3, but still trailed by just 9 at halftime.
Down 7. Ross all the way to the basket with the right hand. Missed the layup, but Clark is there for the easy stuff follow.
UConn would eventually break the game open early in the second half, stretching the lead to as many as 23 points. The Golden Eagles will now look to get their first Big East win as they get back to Pfizer Forum on Wednesday to battle Xavier.
For more than 40 years, Network Health has been the trusted experts in health plans. Just like you, they're honest, hardworking, and grateful to call Wisconsin home. Whether you're seeking coverage for yourself, your family, or your employees, Network Health has you covered with a range of options, including individual and family marketplace plans, employer plans, and Medicare Advantage plans. Call Steve Llewellyn, Saganiac Planning, 262-783-6161. 262-783-6161. Saganiac Planning, a name synonymous with employee benefits and top-notch service.
So the body knows that it needs to heal itself, but it doesn't know how to concentrate it and target it into just one area. So that's where we come in.
By we, Dr. Ashley Caravelli means the nation's leader in regenerative medicine, QC Kinetics.
We put in those treatments, then it sends out like little signalers to your body. We're able to make the body focus on the areas that need the most healing.
QC Kinetics has gathered brilliant medical minds like Dr. Caravelli and Dr. Mitchell Shinecup, a pioneer in the field of regenerative medicine, to lead the way in these innovative pain treatments.
So at QC Kinetics, we have a whole team working nationwide with cutting-edge research to reach our patients and treat them and know that surgery is no longer their only option.
The consultation is free. Find out if you're a candidate. Call QC Kinetics today.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-240-2298. That's 414-240-2298. 414-240-2298.
From the biggest plays on the court to the comments made in the locker room after. An in-depth recap of every Bucks game.
In 6 minutes. No more?
No less. Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus Audio Network. If you missed any of the game or just want to relive the biggest moments, Bucks in 6 provides game recaps every morning after. Hear the high-flying dunks from Giannis or the deep threes from Miles Turner. And catch the comments post-game about what happened on the court. Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus Audio Network. Find it now on bucks.com/plus or on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Earth Justice is a national legal nonprofit fighting to save lives, protect our climate, and strengthen our economy through the shift to zero emissions. Visit us at earthjustice.org. Earth Justice, because the earth needs a good lawyer.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Barb and Jesse's parents will be happy because we have enough time on a Monday for an abbreviated Whoa Nelly.
If the topic is good, the guys discuss.
Just the other morning I had breakfast at Tracy Rocker's house. His mama brought out 15 flapjacks. He said, Mama, take back 5 of them flapjacks. I gotta stay hungry for the Crimson Tide.
But if it's not, the show must go on. It's time for
Whoa Nelly
on Wilde and Tausch.
Head coaching openings taking place around the National Football League. You mentioned some of them earlier, Jason. So, including a couple from the regular season, we've got the Tennessee Titans, the New York Giants, Atlanta Falcons, Cleveland Browns, Las Vegas Raiders. I think that's all of them.
No.
Oh, who am I missing?
Arizona Cardinals fired their coach, too.
Arizona
I do
Cardinals.
believe.
Yeah, the Cardinals, if they haven't yet, they're going to. It's out there. So, 6 openings. Which job do you guys think of those is the most intriguing if you're a head coaching candidate like, I don't know, Packers defensive coordinator Jeff Hafley?
Well, I think for Hafley, going to the Giants makes the most sense because you think you got a quarterback. You're from there. I think it all depends what you're looking for. If you're looking to start from scratch, it would be the Raiders. The Raiders, you're going to get some runway there, and you're going to have an opportunity to start from the bottom, understanding where this is at. Because Pete Carroll signed a 3-year deal. I think he thought he could get a couple years, build this thing up, and then hopefully get better. They didn't. Titans, I'm not sure. If you believe in Cam Ward, great. If you don't, that's not a job you want. Cleveland, you're still paying a quarterback. Are you going to have to stick with Shador? I don't know if I want to go to Cleveland either. Arizona, you're starting from scratch. Atlanta, you're going to bank on a guy that blows his knee out every other year? I don't know. I would probably think not. So, if I'm Mike McCarthy, I want the Tennessee job. You're a quarterback whisperer. That's where I would think that's where you want. There's still going to be some, I think there's 1 or 2 very interesting potential job openings yet. Buffalo gets beat by Jacksonville. I think they need a clean sweep. If something happens, Harbaugh in Baltimore, I wouldn't be shocked if he leaves. And if Pittsburgh gets curb stomped against Houston, I could see that thing moving. So you're still, what are you looking for? You don't jump into these jobs now. If you really are, you want to make sure you're going to give yourself a chance to have a chance. In some of these places, I'm not sure you do.
Is it possible? You mentioned, obviously, Baltimore has had a ton of success. If John Harbaugh were to step away after many years as their head coach, that seems like a place where their success is baked into the cake. That'd be a good job, right? If you're Jeff Hafley, for example. But are the way you ran through those jobs, is there the chance that Jeff Hafley could do what Ben Johnson did a year ago? Right? Ben Johnson, at the end of the previous, I guess 2 years ago, because he's coached this season now, but he had opportunities to take jobs. And he stayed in Detroit for another year because he didn't really like any of the cultures and ownership situations. And it was smart. Look, and I got a couple of people on social media saying that Ben Johnson wasn't talking about the Packers. Okay, if you want to give him the benefit of the doubt, that is not a reach. Given what he has said about the Packers and Matt LaFleur previously, he was talking about the Packers. I'm not saying, look, if you're a Bears fan,
I think he was more defending him. I think he was defending himself probably first, and then
also true.
You want to throw shade at Green Bay. I think that's
yes.
You can read into that and think no problem. Absolutely.
So it's not a stretch to think that he's talking about Matt LaFleur there. But as much as however you feel about Ben Johnson did the smart thing. He was the hot coach. He didn't like any of the situations that were available to him. He spent another year in Detroit, had another great offensive season, and then he got the job that has fit him perfectly. And I believe that he is going to be the perfect guy for Caleb Williams, and Caleb Williams is continue to get better. He's going to get his completion percentage up, and they're going to have a bunch of success, and they're going to be dueling with the Packers moving forward. So he did the right decision. And if Jeff Hafley is looking at what Tausch just outlined with those different teams, I'm not sure that you're not thinking about, you know what, maybe I sit this one out and have another really good defense next year when Micah Parsons is back. And we go out there and I'm a hot candidate again, and I've got better choices at my disposal.
Yeah, I just going through that list.
Ugh.
If he doesn't get or take the Giants job, I think he's back in Green Bay.
Where's the shirt? I agree with Tausch. We will wrap up our lengthy conversation. That's on there, right? Tausch, slightly different.
No,
slightly
similar,
different.
In the ballpark.
Similar, not quite the same. We'll wrap things up next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. All the antics.
Why the hell are we still doing encores? I go to the Killers, and they leave the stage. Oh, thank you, good night. Oh, I can't believe they didn't play Mr. Brightside.
All the action.
Losing somebody like Micah Parsons, everybody on the defense was better because of Micah Parsons, and you lose a guy like that, it's hard to stomach.
The best of both worlds lives right here. Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Weekday mornings from 7 to 9 on 94.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube. Let's get the latest from Lambeau. This is your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee. Why Z-Bart? Because you don't want rust holes in your expensive vehicle. Let Z-Bart keep the rust away with professional rust protection. Only at Z-Bart.
The Packers closed the regular season with a 16-3 loss to the Vikings while resting most of their starters. Quarterback Clayton Tune was sacked 4 times, and punter Daniel Whelan logged 8 punts for 431 yards, the 5th most in team history. Here's head coach Matt LaFleur after the game.
I think our guys are excited. They're excited for the challenge. They're excited for the opportunity, and that's how we're going to attack it, and that's our mindset, because right now, when you get to the postseason, everybody's 0-0. It's a clean slate, so we have an opportunity, and that's all you can ask for.
The Packers finished the season at 9-7-1 and will now head to Chicago to take on the Bears in the first round of the playoffs.
This has been your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee.
Do you want your car to shine like a diamond? Then you need Z-Gloss from Z-Bart. Z-Gloss gives you a mirror finish and protects your paint from everything Mother Nature can throw at it with a 10-year guarantee. Visit zbart.com for more information.
An ESPN Radio Extra Point with Gabe Neitzel.
If this was Michigan 15 years ago, 20 years ago, before the NIL and transfer portal era, I would say they would have some work to do in repairing the trust and making sure that you can go out and get those recruits, that the recruits are going to trust the university and do all those things. Now it just seems like as long as you're spending the money, you're going to be competitive.
Yeah.
And I don't think the boosters are going anywhere. They've loved Michigan football for a very long time. So as long as you have the money continuing to flow into the program, I feel like hiring Kyle Whittingham is a great hire for the University of Michigan because he's still going to have the support. He's gone out, shown that he can be a highly effective coach. Heck, in the BCS era, he led Utah to an undefeated season. But he has shown that he can be a highly successful coach. And if he gets the support that most coaches do at Michigan, I think he's going to be fine.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Man, I love seeing the old gang at these reunions. Did you see Brian? He's in better shape than he was 25 years ago. How is that even possible?
Yep, I ran into him a few weeks ago and had to ask. He told me he started taking Nugenix Total T2.
The testosterone booster?
Yeah, but it's way more than that now. It also skyrockets your nitric oxide in as little as 3 hours. I started taking it right away and I'm already seeing results.
I was wondering what you were doing. You seriously crushed me in that pickup game last week.
Yep, after 40, energy, strength, drive, it all starts going downhill. But with T2, I feel like my old self again. Stronger, leaner, and my energy is way up. My wife even noticed a difference. They're giving out complimentary bottles right now. Just send them a text.
Text CAR to 321-321 for your complimentary bottle of new Nugenix Total T2. Text now and you'll also get a free bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our most powerful fat incinerator. That's CAR to 321-321.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. Product not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Earth Justice is a national legal nonprofit defending the environment and people's health. Until justice stands for all, our lawyers will never rest. More at earthjustice.org/neverrest. Earth Justice, because the earth needs a good lawyer.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Wildy and Tausch wrapping things up as the Packers get ready for Saturday night football, the NFC Wildcard round in Chicago at Soldier Field against the arch rival Bears. Jesse, you have a fact check?
Yes, earlier we had a text from Cody in Pittsburgh. Cody in Pittsburgh is not related to Jana in Pittsburgh. Jana and Colby in Pittsburgh are together.
I knew that.
I got crossed up in it. Jana and Colby. Not Cody. Cody is independent of Jana and Colby.
But do they know each other at all?
No.
Okay. Well, maybe when we do our Wildy and Tausch tour stop in Pittsburgh, maybe we can get everybody together for a little gathering in Pittsburgh. All right. Speaking of Pittsburgh, Aaron Rodgers in the playoffs. The Steelers winning last night. We did not get to talk about that. There were some vintage Aaron Rodgers moments there. That's for sure. And a missed field goal that would have sent the Baltimore Ravens to the playoffs instead.
And
of
holy
Aaron
water.
Rodgers.
You see the holy water?
I did see that. That was
blessed be the South End Zone. If you're a Steelers fan.
We're blessed as well. And what a fun day we had. I will be back home in Green Bay for tomorrow's show. Thanks to everybody who came along for the ride with us today. Have a great day. Take care. Be good.
Miss any of today's episode of Wildy and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin? Commercial-free full show podcasts are available free on the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Kevin Moret here from Mentality. Life's a relentless competition, and you might be losing without even knowing it. With testosterone levels plummeting 25% in just 2 decades, you're likely operating at a fraction of your potential. Your kids sense it when you're too exhausted for playtime. Your wife notices when that spark fades. Here's the harsh truth. Without addressing low T, nothing works. Diets fail, workouts fall flat, but there's hope. Mentality's FDA-approved treatment restores testosterone by an average of 30%. Don't let low T rob you of life's precious moments. Start at mentalityhealth.com/radio.
Let's get the latest from Lambeau. This is your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Tri-City National Bank. Tri-City National Bank offers a full suite of personal and business banking products at more than 25 convenient locations. Open your account today at the community bank that's Milwaukee's best bank. Learn more at tcnb.com.
The Packers closed the regular season with a 16-3 loss to the Vikings while resting most of their starters. Quarterback Clayton Tune was sacked 4 times, and punter Daniel Whelan logged 8 punts for 431 yards, the 5th most in team history. Here's head coach Matt LaFleur after the game.
I think our guys are excited. They're excited for the challenge. They're excited for the opportunity, and that's how we're going to attack it, and that's our mindset, because right now, when you get to the postseason, everybody's 0-0. It's a clean slate, so we have an opportunity, and that's all you can ask for.
The Packers finished the season at 9-7-1 and will now head to Chicago to take on the Bears in the first round of the playoffs.
This has been your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN.